Hello, chat. Welcome to the stream. We are joined today by the wonderful PlatformingPangolin. Say hello.
How's everybody?
There she is. Okay, we got her.
Yay! Yay!
All right.
I've been gotten.
So this evening, we're going to be looking at some national parks from around the country. And let me actually share, make sure I got my screen shared with you so you can follow along. There we go. You can see. All right, you can see everything.
I can see, yes.
She can see, chat. You guys can't see anything yet because I haven't switched scenes.
Oh,
so,
there we go. Now I can see it really well. Okay.
And we have some dumpies in the chat. Mac Truck's got some dumpies. Very cool, very dumpy. They're not pigmen, but I'll allow them in the chat.
They're oofy dogs.
So I have to do one thing real quick while we're getting set up here. So as you know, or you may or may not know, people who are watching and Pangolin, people who have been a guest on my stream get to become VIPs.
Ooh.
But, oh, there it is. Roles manager. Perfect. We're going to add PlatformingPangolin. So you've now joined the illustrious group of people who have become VIPs in my chat. So you should have a shiny little diamond
Let me see. What
next to your name. It might take a few moments to update, but... And Emmykins, there it is. I see it. Emmykins has mentioned we do have a bit of a thunderstorm going through here. So it might be... Hey, Richie Spaceman is here. Oh my gosh. Hello, Richie Spaceman. Long time no see. No space today. We're doing a little more down to earth exploration. We're gonna start off in Yosemite. So I guess I'm kind of from California. Like in a sort of, I don't know, if I had to pick a state that I was from, I would say California is probably the closest. And give me a second here. I seem to be having some technical difficulties with my mouse. There we go. All right. Oh, okay. A reservation is required to drive into or through Yosemite during peak hours. Good to know. This is all important. Glacier Point Road is closed. If you guys are going to Glacier Point Road, you can't drive there. You have to take a hike. There are no water or toilets. So pack it out, pack it in, whatever. And face masks are required indoors. All right. get those out of here.
I still have lifetime membership to national parks.
So,
Haven't used them, but I have them.
so Pangolin, have you been to any national parks?
I have driven through Yellowstone,
Okay.
and I've been to some of the smaller ones, like in Northern Virginia, because I used to go
Okay.
to
All
college
right. All
there.
right. Well, we've got Google Earth open here. Let's head over to Northern
Oh.
Virginia and see what we're looking at.
I'm trying to remember, because I was going to college at James Madison, which is in Harrisonburg. And
Okay.
there's one somewhere right around there. Hold up,
Harrisonburg,
there's
right there.
Stanton,
Shenandoah
yeah.
National Park. There it is.
Yes.
Very green, very Appalachian.
Very stately mountains. It is. It's a very pretty area.
That does look pretty great. I'm more of a beach guy myself, but I know some people like the mountains. I like the mountains too.
I grew up near a beach.
Oh yeah.
I grew up. If you look down at the southern part of Virginia, like right at the mouth, you see Virginia Beach.
You're from Virginia
and,
Beach
like,
too?
Norfolk. I'm not. I am from Hampton, actually.
Oh, she's from the Hamptons, chat. She's rich.
The Hamptons. It's
Okay,
right there.
Hampton right here.
Yep.
And Newport. Hey, that's where the
I-
cigarettes come from.
Yeah.
Wait, is it really?
No, it's.
Okay.
It is.
All right, I gotcha.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I grew up like right there. And there's Pocosin.
I want to go to Hog Island. That sounds fun.
I don't know if it actually has hogs on it though.
Oh, well, that's a misnomer.
I know,
What a
right? I don't
waste.
think there's actual hogs. I know that there's the ponies in the Chincoteague Island.
Okay, well, let's not worry about that right now, because right now we're worried about Yosemite. I
Yosemite.
have never been to a national park that I know of.
Oh.
I may have gone as a kid and just like totally blanked on it. But I have, through the power of the internet, I've been able to experience all the grandeur, blah, 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 whatever. I'm not an
Definitely
outdoorsy
feels
guy.
The same way.
I am not an outdoorsman. I if it was up to me, I would just stay inside my house all the time and I would never leave. So let's hear what they have to say about Yosemite. This is the National Park Service. They're putting their best foot forward here.
Oh no.
Not just a great valley, but a shrine to human foresight, the strength of granite, the power of glaciers, the persistence of life, and the tranquility of the High Sierra. First protected in 1864, Yosemite National Park is best known for its waterfalls, but within its nearly 1,200 square miles, you can find deep valleys, grand meadows, ancient giant sequoias, a vast wilderness area, and much, much, much more.
I only see one much there, sir.
Yeah, it's, I mean,
They should have put like 5 muches though, like much more.
oh, Mac also went to Yellowstone. All right.
Oh, and I've been to Rushmore.
Oh,
Maybe
that's,
not Rushmore.
I guess that's kind of a national park. I never went there, even though I lived in South Dakota. It's on the other side of the state, though.
Like when you live someplace, you don't tend to go to the cool stuff that tourists go to.
Well,
you wanna avoid
again,
the tourists.
South Dakota's kind of a long state. I lived here.
Okay.
I specifically lived up here in Brookings. This is Sioux Falls. And Mount Rushmore is all the way on the other side of the frickin' state, up here in the Black Hills.
Oh, well, that's different. I thought you were saying you were like.
No, I was living in Rapid City. I never once made it to to frickin' Mount Rushmore. I don't know. I've heard it's not that great.
It depends on when you go, because like we went, I think, because we were driving back to Tennessee from Alaska when Pup got out of the army.
Tennessee? You were driving to Tennessee from Alaska?
Yes.
Why?
Because it was so much easier than flying.
That doesn't sound right.
It really was. First off, I really hate going through the airport. Secondly, we had
that's my favorite part.
we had us, 2 kids, and 2 dogs at the time.
Okay, all right.
And trying to ship dogs is terrible.
Yeah, I guess they don't really care much for planes.
We had a really good time though. We had a really good time. We saw some cool stuff. So like we kind of popped in and like looked at Rushmore and like looked around the park just a little bit and then went on our way.
Did you go to Waldrug?
No.
Okay, well in South Dakota, if you're driving along I-90, there's all these billboards for a place called Waldrug where they'll give you free water.
Oh, okay.
It's
I don't
like it's kind
remember.
of a tourist trap type thing. It's not that exciting. Anyway, we were learning about Yosemite. So let's see. Oh, they have waterfalls.
Current park conditions.
Should we look at the current park conditions?
Yes.
Alerts,
Oh,
alert.
that's a lot of red alerts. Oh no.
We got red alerts, we got yellow alerts.
Road
Here's a-
circulation.
Oh, this is a current view. This is updated right now, chat.
Oh.
Oh,
Is it
you
a
were. I don't want to
webcam?
exit. Hang on. I think so. If we refresh it, does the
It
image
says
change?
Webcam. Oh my goodness.
Okay, it looks exactly the same. So I'll just assume that
It's a waterfall.
it's a waterfall. It looks exactly like a waterfall. Not a lot going on here.
It is a fantastic representation of a waterfall.
They're doing. It's like an AI
10/10
generated
would
image of a
visit.
waterfall. Oh boy. The entire road is closed until 2023, chat.
Ooh.
All right, we'll avoid that one, I guess. Huh.
Seasonal information. Bears.
Bears. Watch out for
You know what, that
bears.
we were gonna camp on the way to Tennessee, and like every camping site that we stopped near had a sign up that was like, "We've spotted bears," and we were like, "Nope,
No bears, please.
not there."
They are very, yeah. So speaking of Mount Rushmore, I
Yeah.
think I preferred Mount Richmore from the Richie Rich movie with Macaulay Culkin. Have you seen
I
that?
actually watched that. No,
You
I've
have.
seen
Hang on.
clips from it.
Let me bring this
I've
up here.
seen the first part of it.
Okay, it's called Mount Richmore, and it's basically a picture of like the rich family, because that's the name.
I've seen.
Yeah, here's a picture of it. I got it. I got it. That is not Google. When I click on an image in Google image search, why does it take me to a random website that doesn't have the image on it? Somebody want to explain that?
Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it's something to do with the coding.
Sure, I guess. All right, here's Mount Richmore. It's just it's Daddy Rich, Mama Rich, and Richie Rich. And that is way cooler looking than Mount Rushmore looks.
Fair.
It's also incrementally, probably not incrementally. It's much more narcissistic than Mount Rushmore, I guess, because these people are still alive. All right, so back
and they did
to
it themselves.
yeah, they just have a big laser. And Mac Truck says the Grand Canyon was dope. I've never been to the Grand Canyon. I saw it in
I have not either.
I saw it in Fallout New Vegas. I think I've seen enough. I'm good enough. I don't need to see the whole thing.
I want to see the Grand Canyon, but I want to see it like I want to visit like down in the canyon. I don't.
Oh no. We can just Google that. Here, we can go right there. Look, here it is. It's right here. Here's the Grand Canyon, everybody.
Oh.
You've
it's so grand.
It's around here somewhere.
It's
here
so
it is.
grand.
Here's you see, look. Wow, it's so big. Wow, look at that. It's so cool. All right, you've seen the Grand Canyon. Let's move on. All right, so let's get to the big one. Let's talk about Yellowstone.
Oh, Yellowstone.
I know people love Yellowstone. It's the world's first national park. Thank you, Teddy Roosevelt, by the way.
Yes.
So on March 1st, 1872, Yellowstone became the first national park for all to enjoy the unique hydrothermal and geologic features. Within Yellowstone's 2.2 million acres, visitors have unparalleled opportunities to observe wildlife and an intact ecosystem, explore geothermal areas that contain about half the world's active geysers, and view geologic wonders like the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone River. Not to be confused with the actual Grand Canyon. And not to be confused with Jellystone National Park, which is that's a different park.
Dude, I used to watch those.
Oh, look, we got some baby grizzly bears. Look at that.
They're so cute.
They are. Don't approach them.
Yeah, no.
Do not approach the bears. I love reading the stories about tourists
who
just
take
like
pictures.
yeah, they like get up close to the bears, are trying to take selfies, or they go up to the bison and they're trying to take selfies with the bison. Like, hello, these things are the size of a freaking car, and they're probably pretty ornery.
Moose are huge. Like,
oh yeah.
We got to Alaska, and I learned how, like, the first show that I watched after we got to Alaska was a thing about moose like trying to murder people, and I was just like, oh my god, what have we gotten ourselves into? And they're huge.
And here we see nature's killer, the moose, in its natural habitat. Okay, here we go.
Like, they will murder you.
So here's what they recommend: bison, elk, and all other wildlife 25 yards. Which,
Yeah.
all right, maybe this is just me, but I can't eyeball 25 yards.
I can't either.
They're like, it's 75 feet. I'm like, I don't know. Is it 75 feet? And then 100
Exactly.
yards.
I can't.
You got to stay a football field away from these people or
The
animals.
other thing is, like, if you're in a car and you're like driving on the road in Yellowstone, because when we drove through Yellowstone, like there were just a herd of bison like near the road, and I'm like, they're like within like easy striking distance, and I'm just like, I don't think we're far enough away.
Yeah. Too scary. I would not want to go deal with bear. I wouldn't want to deal with wolves or even bison. Are elk, moose, are those the same things?
They're not, no.
Okay.
They have like different antler setups.
Oh, okay.
Elk are like caribou.
They look kind
elk
of
are
more
very
like
similar to
deer,
caribou.
I guess. They have like the antlers
like
as
deer,
opposed to the moose
caribou-ish.
things. They're all ungulates, whatever.
Yeah.
They can do what they want. And hello,
Did you-
Hex.
We also saw bison up in the Yukon too. Again,
Oh, I suppose,
right,
yeah,
like in the median of the road.
They roam all the way up there, huh?
Yeah, and they're very majestic, and I want to be much farther away from them. Bear safety.
Bear
Swim
safety.
and
Swim and soak. Do not go in the hot springs. I've read some horror stories about that. I'm sure everybody knows about the horror stories.
Don't go near the hot springs.
Yeah, just,
either.
you know what? Don't go on the boardwalk. Just, you know what? Maybe just watch a YouTube video.
Exactly.
That's probably the safest way. Backcountry safety, huh? All right. Don't be like this guy. Stay on the trail. So we got bears. We got drinking water. As a safeguard against giardiasis, other
Giardia.
parasites, and bacteria, we recommend that you boil, filter, or chemically treat all drinking water. Waters may be polluted by animal or human waste. Intestinal infections from drinking untreated water are increasingly common. If people don't know that before we invented safe drinking water, everybody just drank beer because otherwise the water would kill you. So we've got hypothermia. I know some people have more or less issues. Uh-oh. Did we lose Pangolin? You still here?
I know, I'm still here.
Okay, I just double checked to make sure because
I was quiet for
you were
a
quiet.
while.
You were quiet for too long. And well, I checked Discord too, but I didn't see your little picture, but I guess it doesn't show up if I'm showing. All right, stream crossings. Yes, all right, whatever. Thermal features, here we go. Burns from thermal features are a common cause of serious injury and death in the park.
Yes! A common cause!
Common cause.
Common!
There have been over 5,000, no, I don't, there's no numbers here. Check at a ranger station before you go exploring. Foot travel in all thermal areas must be confined to boardwalks or maintain trails that are marked by official signs. Don't approach or... What's up?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just reading it. If you got something to say, please interject.
Have you seen how small the boardwalks are in Yellowstone?
No, let me see if I can find a picture here.
Oh my god, they're so thin. And they have like the most minimal like banisters, not banister, what's sort of guardrails? Like
sure, yeah, okay. Here, we got a good one here.
It's like, and you look at it and you're like, that is a dangerous thing. Like that is if I trip over my own 2 feet. Look at that.
Oh, you're right on top of them, huh?
Like,
yikes.
people take their children. Like adults die in this park.
Wait, well, you can explore it virtually? Oh, see, that's probably safer. Just explore these things virtually.
Look
Don't.
at that.
I mean, it doesn't look that thin. You made it sound like it was like a balancing beam.
For me, that might as well be.
Okay, I guess.
If you're trying to like corral kids.
Well, don't take your kids to national parks. Come on.
Well, not that one, at least.
Many hot springs and fumaroles here have temperatures above boiling point. Oof.
The fumarole will be your funeral.
Yeah, it really will. Okay, where is the I was told there was virtual exploration, but this is just a map.
Hold on.
Ooh.
The colors of Norris. Where is that sulfur?
Yeah, we got yellow, that's sulfur, brown,
Ooh.
rust, and red, that's iron, emerald green are algae, and dark blackish green, that is another type of algae.
In even cooler water.
Animals at Norris. The bison and elk just chill out around the thermal features, I guess. I don't know.
I like how it says animals and there's no pictures of the animals.
Yeah, that's the pictures. This isn't really designed to be like a good website, I don't think. It's from the National Park Service.
You know what though? It's so much better than some websites that I've seen, but it could be so much better.
Yeah, it's like they just hired somebody like, hey, here's the pictures we have, just kind of like string them together. All right. Well,
like the forestry department is always kind of like scraping together funding though. It's like I can't fault them too much.
Sure.
There's got to be somebody who would just be like, I would love to do a website for you.
Yeah, they got to get bids and all that stuff. You know, it's not quite as straightforward when it's the government. Ugh. Oh, ticks and mosquitoes, my two favorite animals.
Oh God.
From mid-March to mid-July, grassy, brushy, low elevation areas are ideal tick habitat. Wear repellent even on shoes, socks, cuffs, and pant legs. Tuck your pant leg. I'm not wearing pants in July.
Yeah, for real.
Are you kidding me? I'll just die.
I'm kind of surprised that it's only mid-March to mid-July, cause I mean here in Tennessee it's like until like it gets cold you deal with ticks.
Well, yeah, I haven't dealt with ticks, but mosquitoes are. I'm expecting they haven't been super bad this year that I've noticed, but I typically just get eaten alive by those damn things.
I think the only reason we don't have more mosquitoes here right now is because it's been really, really dry for the season, and so they haven't had any place to really.
They gotta lay their eggs, yeah.
But that also means that like the dragonflies can't lay their eggs either because their larvae feed on mosquito larvae.
Yep. All right. Is there anything else we want to look at with Yellowstone before we move on to our next national park?
Wayfinding, weather.
Wait, where?
Winter safety.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, weather. Yellowstone can experience winter-like weather any time of year.
What?
Well, it's in that weird part of the country.
Oh, is it one that's got like the really, really high elevation?
Not so much. It's just, it's so inland that it can just kind of get whatever. Like, obviously, you have the Pacific Northwest. That's always kind of rainy. Then you have like the rain shadow deserts up here. You got your like high deserts down here. Then you have this weird area right here where sometimes it rains, sometimes it's dry. There's plenty of like rivers and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's no large body of water that sort of regulates the temperature though.
What is it called? There's the change in elevation can do weird stuff with it because the cool air settles down in the valleys.
Well, yeah.
And like
I know more about like the hydrologic stuff. I don't know about temperature wise.
I only know about the temperature stuff because it's an issue for hikers that they have to be prepared. If they're going to be changing elevations, they have to be prepared for like potential rain and cold down in the valley areas.
So like I have a D&D setting that is basically the west coast of the United States, right? And so I had to study the hydrologic effects of like the wet air coming from the ocean and hitting the mountains, and then it all rains out on this side. So everything on the right side is just dry. Like you can see the difference.
Yeah.
But then you have the rivers.
Explains why it rains so much.
The rivers are all from snowpack though. So it snows on the mountains.
Yeah.
And then the water will come down. You have this whole area here.
And then the glacier melt. Does that area have the snow cap / glacier melt that other areas do?
I mean, you can see it right here on the map. But yes. And then when it hits the Rockies again over on this side, you then start getting the same effect. It's like it rains here, it's dry on this side.
That is wild.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then yeah, same down here in like Nevada. It's all desert. Also, Baja California is incredible. We're not talking about Mexico right now though. We're talking about American national parks. And our next national park is one of my favorites actually. I never got to visit this park. So when I was in the Army, I did some training in Central Texas. I don't know exactly where on the map. It was like somewhere around here. Is this Texas? I think this is Texas. Hang on. Zoom out a bit. It was like up here somewhere. I don't remember exactly where. And I saw all these billboards for Mystery Flesh Pit National Park.
What?
So hang on, hold on. Okay, this isn't one of them. This is a different billboard. And so here's the website. And you can see this is an old advertisement for it. Discover verdant forest, majestic scenery, and cosmic terror. Enjoy legendary trout fishing, geotectonic carnal moans, broken philosophy, backcountry hiking, and camping. And you can see the entrance here to the Mystery Flesh Pit itself.
Spelunker-led descents, campfire programs, abyssal. What does that say?
Copepods.
Copepod.
Yeah, we'll look at some of the fauna here in a little bit. Hey, Mac Truck's Mac Truck knows about the Coke Heartthrob. Are you're not familiar with the Mystery Flesh Pit, I'm guessing?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, this will be fun for us then. That's perfect. So where should we start?
So this is actual place. Like, what is it?
Yeah, look, here's a map. So it closed in 2007. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But you can see, here's the map. National Park Service right there. And hang on, go back.
Gosh.
I can't quite read it. Let's zoom in a bit.
I'm super disappointed that I'm just now hearing about this.
So, advice to enjoy Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. I have 1 to 2 hours. What should I do? Walk the rim trail. So the rim trail, of course, being on the outside, I don't know what they called this area. I guess the pit area. So this is the like the upper visitor center. Okay. So you can just walk around the rim and look down on it. You can see the historic ritual grounds over here. You can visit the park museums and visitor center. So all this stuff right here outside of the pit itself. I have a half day. What should I do? Ride the descent gondola into the park.
Oh, gondola.
Ride the gondola in the morning and avoid crowds during peak seasons. Attend a free park ranger program and walk through one of the many enclosed trails within the interior of the park. If I have a full day, what should I do? Explore the lower visitor center and enclosed trails within the park. Bathe in the amniotic thermal springs and visit the gift gardens.
Oh, they have thermal springs too?
Amniotic thermal springs. We'll talk about those in a bit. So,
oh man, I should know what that means.
Here we can see sort of the inside of the pit itself. So there's the lower visitor center, and then they have all these trails going off into other parts.
That is a neat looking map.
Mm-hmm. So you can see the trails, you can see some of the explored areas. And then they have all the little services marked off.
Lucent organ. Southwestern musculature. Central musculature. What is that one on the commercial extraction lease area?
Yeah, so there was mining that was going on inside the park.
Okay. I was wondering if that was for them.
It was leased out.
Lesser gastric sea.
And the greater gastric sea right here.
Yeah.
So let me see if I can find the amniotic thermal springs. I think that's the bathhouse area. Yeah, here it is, amniotic thermal springs. So we'll talk about those in a little bit. I just wanted to kind of look at the maps just so we kind of have an idea of what we're dealing with.
Not open anymore?
No, it closed in 2007.
Oh, that's so sad.
Oh, here's a good one. This kind of shows a side-on view. Journey below. Your encounter with the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park begins in the Permian Basin Desert of West Texas. Beyond the familiar surroundings of rugged brush and broad plains is a gateway into another world. Away from sunlight, away from the still ground, away from the comfort of the surface world lies the sublime wonder and terror of the Mystery Flesh Pit. It is an incomparable realm of gigantic anatomical formations and extraordinarily introspective voyages deep into the soul of those who venture within. The first tethered oil workers who entered the pit had no idea what to expect as they slid, crawled, and were swallowed down into the darkness. Today, many wonders of the Mystery Flesh Pit are well known, yet the experience of exploring its depths is every bit as exciting. So yeah, so you can see Lubbock here on the map, but south of Lubbock near Odessa. They had a Hard Rock Cafe and a Chili's.
So what's in it? Like, what's in the pit?
Oh, what do you mean? It's just a pit.
What is actually in the pit?
Well, there is the pleasure domes.
Oh my god.
Oh, I mean, I don't want to like read every single little bit here.
Yeah, no.
We're mostly just looking at the pictures and kind of talking about it.
Because that looks like organs.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, this is obviously an artist's rendition of what the interior of the pit might look like. But here, if we can maybe zoom in here on the gondola area. So you have the upper visitor center, and then you ride the gondola down on these wires here, and then it takes you down into the pit.
Dude.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, dude. How have I never heard of this one?
All right, let's see. Well of the Abhumans, a geobiological feature. Peer into the past. The Well of the Abhumans is the name given to a unique fluid duct that was discovered in the early 1980s by work crews installing telecom lines within the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. The relatively small tube was notable in that it was comprised of tissue types previously unencountered, serving a role in a then unknown anatomical system within the pit. Once the duct was cut open and the upper duct was sealed, it was found to be saturated with formaldehyde. After a few hours of slow descent, a bladder-like organ was encountered by an explorer, which was filled with a dense, sponge-like tissue. Additionally, there were discovered the bodies of 3 unidentifiable mammals in a severe state of decay, but otherwise preserved by the formaldehyde. Though the proportions and musculature of the bodies initially led investigators to believe they were human remains, additional investigation revealed musculoskeletal features wholly different from any known hominid. Later radiological dating of bone samples from the bodies indicated a startling disparity between the 3 corpses. One was dated to the 10th century AD, one was dated to over 35,000 BC, with the final specimen having bones entirely consisting of a dense plastic polymer.
What?
And then it says, do not litter, don't deposit coins, trash, or other foreign debris.
Wow.
And let's see,
really
what are some other? I like the ones with the pictures.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
Tumblr is not helping me do this. So we got some park rangers.
Hit or miss, man. Is this the interpretive ranger?
Oh, here's Jimmy Carter. Here's a news article here. Jimmy Carter opening the site. Dude. So you can see sort of before they started putting the visitor center in, you can see some of the old excavation. So yeah, 1980s.
Cool.
Just out here in the middle of the desert.
The 1980 annexation.
Yeah, so it was privately owned, and then the government bought the land and turned it into a national park.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I'm glad I could share this with you.
I'm kind of mad. Like I said, I'm mad I've never heard of it before now. I would have made an effort to go see this.
Well, it closed in 2007, so you would have been and it's in the middle of Texas.
Before I had kids, I could have gone and done that.
I guess, yeah. All right, so here's a cool cross section of the lower visitor center. You can see it has like the viewing areas, and it's all dark in there, right? So they had lights to light it up.
Oh God.
Yeah, and then it's got, just tells you what all the levels are. I believe that the Hard Rock Cafe was inside this one. See if we can spot it. There's a Burger King, Trader Vic's. What is that? I can't read what that last one is. That's a Baskin Robbins. Yeah, it's got food in there. They had I think there was a hotel I don't remember if there was a hotel in this one or if it was separate. Again, it's been a while since I checked out the site.
Okay,
Maybe Mac
now,
Truck will know. What?
Mac Truck, do you know?
Mac
Now
Truck?
I
Yeah,
need to
Mac Truck
see,
knows all
like,
about this.
a grade B horror movie that's like set within that little architectural area right there.
Let's see. Let me know if you see anything that looks super interesting and we can dig a little deeper into it.
What is the news? Is that a newspaper clipping? What is that?
Oh, this is just a archived piece of paper. Okay. Blah, blah,
Too
blah.
large. Wait, it's like too large.
I think this is them
what
mentioning.
The hell is this?
This is the Anodyne board of directors about like building inside, I think is what they're talking about.
Really cool. So is this what's on the actual site, or is this like you went image searching?
Oh no, this is just like a Tumblr collection of various pieces of media. Here's the amniotic thermal springs. Relaxation and rejuvenation. Located deep in the warmer crypts of the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park, the amniotic thermal springs are renowned worldwide for their delightful effects on mind, body, and spirit. First discovered during the early exploration of Mystery Flesh Pit in the 1970s, the amniotic thermal baths were one of the earliest draws to the park. Many people traveled across the country to seek out the mystic properties of the healing baths, which were rumored to heal ailments and cure disease. Many others, calling them pleasure domes, enjoyed the aphrodisiacal effects of the amniotic fluids. Today, this tradition continues for modern bathers who use the springs medicinally or recreationally. So,
Brings potency.
Yeah.
Libido bath.
So there's like rules and stuff, and there's like certain places you have to be over 18 to enter.
Wow.
Easy swimming.
Amniotic spring fluid.
Semi-opaque, slippery, luminescent liquid produced with these organic thermal springs has little in common with the fluid produced by pregnant mammals, so it's sort of a misnomer. Park geobiologists use the term ballast, as it is theorized the fluid is produced by the Mystery Flesh Pit as a way to regulate the endocrine system of the superorganism. So there you go. It's a little more biological explanation.
That's why amniotic sounded familiar.
Yeah. Again, though, it's a misnomer as far as like biology goes. Okay. Well, here we have an actual picture. Or no, this is an artist rendition, it looks like. It says photo. It's kind of grainy, though. Might be a copy of a copy of a copy or something.
Look, it's behind me, and he's like, what kind of SCP shit did we just fall into?
No, we're not on
It's
SCP.
the Mystery Flesh Pit.
It's a national park. Look,
It's a national park, man.
They got the freaking,
It's
they got the pin.
There's a pin? What? That's so cool.
Which part? Oh,
the pin.
It's not a pin.
Yeah.
It's like a little sew-on badge.
Oh, that's even cooler.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh wow. Wow, like if that's what the walls of it actually looked like.
It's kind of fleshy.
Yeah, like that's so. Now I want to go. I wish I was open so I could go and look at the geology of it.
Well, geobiology. But yeah. Here it is. This is the resort area. This is like from the 70s, geez. Look at this, the layout. Welcome to the Intra Park. Can I? Okay.
You cannot.
I cannot zoom in. Thank you.
You cannot.
All right, welcome to the Intra Park Wellness Resort at Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. And there you go.
Safety. What does that say? Oh, first aid.
Yes. So I think this is just
weapons.
Please do not discharge any type of weapon while inside the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. These include firearms, air guns, archery equipment, and fireworks.
What? Who did something they had to add the archery equipment?
You know, well, they're just, you know how people are.
Did something.
We got the Heart of Texas Steakhouse, Jim's Place, McDonald's, Mediterranean Cafe, Perkins. Hey, we got Perkins around here. Pizza Hut, La Cantina, Topless Tiki's. Ooh, I want to visit that
Heart
one.
of Texas Lounge. Topless Tiki.
I'm gonna go to that one. Sounds like a good time.
Nature's gift.
Entertainment.
There's a beauty shop. Oh my god.
It's a resort.
Comedy
Yeah, they
Depot.
got everything down here.
Wow.
Comedy Depot, Electrodome. Oh, it's an arcade. Nice.
Wow.
Jim's Place, Technobis. High energy
Technobis?
neon dance club with lasers and pyrotechnics.
Ooh, wait, they just said no fireworks.
Well, it's inside the resort.
Pyrotechnics is okay.
Age is 21 and older, so it's like it's a fun little
Ranger for a day.
ranger for a day. Oh, learn the ins and outs of what
Yeah.
it takes to be a National Park Service Ranger. Enjoy a full day of hands-on learning in topics such as wildlife tracking, ventricular orienteering, flora identification, knot tying, bone climbing, trauma management, and responsible stewardship of the environment. Breakfast and lunch provided. Ages 13 plus. Limit 4 per group.
Come do free labor for us for a day.
Well, that's not how much
we'll
labor
teach
you're
you.
actually doing. And there's a petting zoo. Cool.
Does it say what's in the petting zoo? Or what was in the petting zoo?
Features lovable, petable, and defanged wildlife from within the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park, ideal for small children and those who are easily frightened. You must sign a liability release waiver.
Oh my gosh.
We got the thermal spa, the amniotic springs, spa treatments. Man, this sounds great. I mean, I'm not a big spa guy, but I mean, I'm not gonna turn it down, you know.
I 100% now want to see like a grade B horror movie that's like some group of like teenagers, like college or college kids, like find out that this thing existed, and we're like, but it says it's closed. We're gonna go like break in and check it out anyway. What could go wrong? And then everything goes wrong. It becomes like a body horror grade B movie.
Mac Truck says, I have an aunt that took me on a summer trip out west in 2006. Not so much of a vacation, but more of a learning experience, I guess.
It can be both. It can be both.
Yeah.
Business center.
And here's just the back. So it's
Wow.
all scanned in, so it looks kind of weird.
That's so freaking cool, man. Room service?
I mean, yeah, it's a resort. So these are scans of an in-room service brochure from the resort hotel constructed within the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park, most likely from 1998 to 2000. So there you go. I should really start opening these in a new tab so I don't have to go back to where we were.
Nah, we like things complicated.
Oh, here's the gondola tickets. Check this out.
Oh, wow.
This is from 2002. Oh, these must be from the same group, maybe.
Wow.
Those
That's
guys,
so cool.
yeah.
I see now why they were calling it like that between the remains that were found and the way that the walls look. That's so freaking cool, man. And that
Let's see.
sculpture
Oh,
there.
here's here. I didn't see a sign that looked like this. Caver Coop says, "Come explore the Funderground." So yeah, this is from 1976. They had a little bit more modern signage than this.
Groups, welcome.
Emikin says you could make that movie and make $1 million.
Oh my god.
Do like a Blair Witch Project style independent film.
Dude, that'd be so cool.
Could be.
Mac Truck, you want to help me with that?
All right, let's see if we can. Here, we have some park wildlife stuff. I know you were interested in that.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this. Oh, look at this awful 70s font, though. The Mystery Flesh Pit. Jefferson
That's
Starship
taken-
font.
Yes.
All right, so here is some wildlife safety stuff.
What is that?
What is what?
That creature thing.
Oh, okay, we're not there yet. Your visit to the Mystery Flesh Pit can be a most pleasurable and rewarding experience, or it can be a time of vexation, distress, or even tragedy. Much depends on how you and your family observe these simple guidelines and avoid the designated hazards. So we were talking about the bison, we were talking about the bears. Of course, it's a wildlife area. There are wildlife here, so you need to, know what to do. Visitors and wildlife within the Mystery Flesh Pit often frequent the same areas within the park. It is likely that park wildlife and visitors will encounter one another, but by remaining calm and following the basic advice of experienced veteriobiologist, you increase the odds of a positive outcome for both yourself and the wildlife. Okay. So let's see if we can identify some park wildlife here.
I like that you are on your own there.
I mean, there's only so much they can do, right? It's like in Yellowstone.
No.
It's like you wander
Anytime
off the trail.
I see a sign that says you're on your own, I'm like, nope, not going there.
We got fungal growth, compound surface fauna. On rare occasions, abyssal copepods and other park wildlife will venture outside of the pit and pull surface animals such as deer, livestock, coyotes, and rabbits into the Mystery Flesh Pit. If not eaten by park fauna, these animals may undergo a fascinating phenomenon known as anatomical amalgamation. This process, which is not fully understood by park scientists, results in the creation of a compound organism, which is a hybrid of constituent surface animals. No two of these amalgamations are the same, though the resulting physiology often results in similar conditions such as partial fusing of major body elements and relocation of internal organs to locations on the exterior of the body. So,
wow,
just something to watch out for. We also have macrobacteria, the most common.
There's also a note there about if you find a human one.
Oh, yeah. Be careful with those. Let's talk about macrobacteria here. While resembling their microscopic counterparts, these creatures are multicellular and reach sizes of up to 12 feet across. So that's a big boy. The feeding mechanism of macrobacteria is believed to be related to cystic nutrient ganglions found within the Mystery Flesh Pit, around which macrobacteria congregate in substantial numbers.
Wow.
And then abyssal copepods, we talked about those. As their name suggests, abyssal copepods tend to avoid light, machinery, and other human activity whenever possible, preferring to reside in deeper areas within the Mystery Flesh Pit. Unlike macrobacteria, what?
I just noticed under the macrobacteria, it says they're generally passive in nature. Macrobacteria are aggressively territorial of feeding zones.
I mean, yeah. It'd be like if you don't go up to a bison when they're like with their little bison babies, right? Or if they're, they're trying to eat something.
Sorry, proceed. I'm
okay.
sorry.
No, it's all right. No, feel free to interject. I'm just reading off the information here. Abyssal copepods are predatory and survive by hunting other life forms within the pit. These unusual arthropods have hard chitinous carapaces coated in a waxy secretion, which allows them to easily slip and travel within the pit while remaining somewhat protected from the conventional deterrents, such as firearms and electrical discharge weapons. Abyssal copepods are considered hazardous to the safety and well-being of park staff, park visitors, as well as commercial mining operations within the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. So you want to avoid those guys. And I think this is a picture of an abyssal copepod. Kind of poking. Well, it's a art, not a picture, but not
an artist's rendering.
Yes, like a piece of art, a drawing or something. And this is from Voight Expeditions. They've provided that.
Wow.
So there we go. So let's see.
That is amazing.
I know, right?
Absolutely a horror movie waiting to happen.
Oh, here's downtown Gumption. So it's located, the closest town is Gumption. So here's just a little, fun little advertisement type thing.
It looks like there's pictures from kids' books.
Yeah.
When it would show you the parts of a city, and it'd be here's a hospital, and this is a gas station.
I feel like I've seen stuff like this before for other cities though.
Oh yeah.
Especially tourist places. They do colorful little maps that it shows you the basic idea. And then highlights all the businesses there. You got Motel 6, you got Burger King, you got a McDonald's, you got an IHOP.
You know what's a really good place to find those when you're traveling is restaurants that get kids in, where they get a lot of families in, because they'll have I've seen it a bunch of times where they'll have a map kind of like this of the town or the city for the kids to color in.
Yeah, a little coloring book page. That's actually kind of what that looks like.
So you can get a coloring book page and be now I have a general idea of where I'm going.
All right, let's see if there's anything else here that we want to look at. Here's an article from Popular Science, 1995.
Wow.
High technology deep in the heart of Texas.
That's cool.
So let's see. We're not going to read the whole article. I'm not actually sure. I think they're just talking about the way that they're, the architecture, the computer system, because this was pretty advanced for the time.
Oh, yeah.
They had like sensors all over. They had electronics running across to power the lights. And these were like, they had these early drone type things, I believe. What is this? Standing at just under 3 feet tall. Oh, this is just a field sensor. It's not an actual, it's not a quadcopter. It looked like one.
Yeah, it really does.
I think it just hooks into the walls.
That's so cool. I'm gonna look that article up later to read it. Like, that's so freaking
Yeah, go for
cool.
it.
How did I never hear about this?
I don't know. I thought like most people knew about this.
No, I have never in my life heard about this. And
I mean, it
I
wasn't.
heard a lot about Yellowstone.
It's in Texas and it's closed, so it's not like it's a huge
but
like draw
I'm
now.
surprised I never heard about it before then.
All right.
I guess I just wasn't paying enough attention to the national parks.
Yeah, well, it's not one of the glamorous ones. It's hard to take pictures in the dark, right?
I mean, if you have a really good flash. I think also because it's underground. And I am not a fan of caves.
Yeah, exactly. Like how much do you know about like Crystal Cave or Mammoth Cave or any of those big cave ones?
Is Mammoth Cave the one that's in Virginia?
See, you don't even know where it is. It's in Kentucky.
There's one, that's where I've heard of it. There's one, I avoid.
Oh, here we go.
And it's just because, when I was a kid, my parents would watch documentaries and I would watch them too. And there was a whole thing on Nova where they were talking about spelunking.
Yeah.
And
Spelunky, right?
How this team, and how this team had found a new passageway that connected two caves that previously hadn't been discovered, and they were talking about how various people had one of the caves got discovered because somebody went off spelunking and didn't tell anybody where they were going. They just went for a walk and were like, oh, that looks cool, and by the time anybody found them, they had been injured for quite a while, and so I was like, caves are scary.
Yeah, no, exactly. Caves aren't there are a lot of national parks that are caves, right? But they're not. Certain people like that kind of stuff. I'm not a big cave guy.
Yeah, it's also because if there's an earthquake or anything.
Yep, earthquakes.
If you're in an area that gets earthquakes.
Volcanic eruptions. Just anything like that.
I remember when I started being afraid of caves. It was because when I was a little kid, we had family up in Cincinnati, and we went to visit them. And while we were there, there was a cave exhibit where there was an enclosed walkway that went through a cave. And I remember my aunt pointing down and being like, oh, look, there's the skeleton of a fox that fell down there 100 years ago. And I peek down, and it's way down there, and it's just this skeleton that nobody ever retrieved because it's just too far down. I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. It is the most terrifying place I've ever been. And it just stuck with me.
So exactly. So it doesn't get the attention. The cave national parks don't get the same attention as the real big ones,
Yeah.
Which is why we started.
Unless you're into spelunking,
right.
Yeah.
So let's see. Here's a couple of pictures we can look at of the various critters that live down there.
Those are really nice illustrations.
Yeah, I think they're biologist renderings. We have the abyssal copepod. That's the one that we were talking about earlier. They just kind of squeeze through the different tunnels. The shrieking cloistropod. They're very weird, I know.
And they're actual they're actual things?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I
What
mean,
does that say? Venomous shamble?
so think of like the deep ocean, right? Like
Which
there's
is
all
also
kinds,
terrifying.
exactly. There's all kinds of stuff like this down there. You know, you got
Yeah.
the worms, you got the like weird tubes that grow up around hydrothermal vents. This is the same kind of deal, except it's inside of this mystery flesh pit.
That's awesome. Like, because normally when I think of like stuff that's in caves, I think of like the fish that can live in caves.
Like the eyeless fish, yeah.
Yeah.
Like things get weird when they're down in the dark.
Yeah. A mysterious pit and the man who found it.
Yeah, this is about James Jackson. He was an oil man. I know about this for the most part. He was
Slippin' Jim.
prospecting for oil in Texas, and they came across this pit while they were digging, and they explored it, and then they I don't know all the, it's hard to explain.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so this is an article from 1975. 12 cents for a newspaper, dang.
Wow.
Talk about inflation, huh? Those were the days.
You can keep a good man down.
Sanctify, magazine of the Southern Baptist, and of course,
What?
you got the religious people coming in.
Oh no.
A foul tunnel to Lucifer himself.
Enjoyed by the Almighty. Or sorry, buried by the Almighty, enjoyed by the damned.
Everything fun. Could the Texas superorganism?
Socialist origins of the National Park Service.
Yeah, I mean look at the magazine it's in.
What was the which magazine is this?
It's called Sanctify. I'm assuming they don't make it anymore. The magazine of the Southern Baptist Association. And then they have a picture.
The Texas superorganism be the piece of revelation.
They have a picture of hell here, like a biblical picture of hell, and they're trying to compare it.
Can't have nice things.
Yep. Of course. Oh, here's the entrance. Look at that. Just like real easy. Just drive right in.
It looks so suburban.
It kind of does. I mean, you know, it was a modern park. It was around till 2007.
Yeah,
it's not like it's
that
ancient.
It doesn't look as exotic as I would expect with how like exotic the inside is. I guess they figured like, you know,
I think they use the same architecture for most of the national park stuff.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, the Halloween carnival, roadless rally.
This looks fun. Cave or Coop spooky Halloween carnival at Mystery Flesh Pit. He's got his vampire cape on.
Campfire stories, decorated trails, scary petting zoo, sign liability waiver required.
Yeah, I mean, you know. Blood. Drink specials at Chili's too and Trader Vic's. 21 and older.
Woohoo! Is it $5 children 12 and under and $8 for adults?
I would have been 3 in 1992, so I wouldn't have gone to that.
Oh man.
And the Roadless Rally, 1988.
How old was I at 19? I was like, oh gosh, I'm trying to think. I think I would have been in elementary school.
In 1993?
In 98.
Oh, 98.
All right, no, sorry. What was the other one? Was 92?
93. Or,
93.
No, 92. Yes, 92. I was 3 in 1992.
Let me do math.
Okay, do the math.
I would hit.
We'll give you a few minutes.
9.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have been 9.
So here we have just, you know, it's Texas. Of course, they got their 4x4, whatever it is they're doing.
Doesn't that look like it should be a horror movie poster?
Well, I think it's stylized.
I know, but like, so are movie posters.
Oh, and here's a
gold mine, man.
Here's a diagram. The park trail engineer. So these are the guys who like go in and like set up areas to explore.
Wow. Wait, to temporarily enlarge height areas? What?
I'm not sure. Let's see. Multi-tool. Let's see. Pant cuffs. It doesn't really specify what these guys do. I think they mostly make sure the areas are safe for people to go through.
Let's see. Wow.
Winter activities.
Winter
Ooh.
activities.
Does it actually have anything, or is, oh, it's just the exterior of this? Look at that font. Oh god,
Dude.
it reminds me of those like love resorts in like the Poconos. Are you familiar with those?
No.
Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Poconos. It reminds me of like the. Did you ever see like the little pocket reference books that were like for like fossils and like plant life and stuff? What is it called? It's called guys, like little pocket books, I think is what it's. Oh gosh.
Right here, let me bring up this article here. So we're going off on a little tangent, but if you're not familiar with these, there were a lot of resorts in the Poconos Mountains that were sort of a I don't know, like getaways for couples. So here you can see this, you can see the picture. Okay, I don't want to discover New York City secrets. So this is from the 1970s. You can see like it's ridiculous, right? And here it is now. It's just abandoned.
So romantic.
You can see the heart-shaped hot tub in there that got torn out of the room. Yeah, that's okay. Well, that's just sad now.
That's oh man.
But yeah, the picture actually that is kind of similar to what we've been looking at. The quality of it been scanned in.
Yeah.
But I was mostly just comparing the fonts, like the 1970s-esque fonts here.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the little pocket guides that you used to be able to get for like fossils and plant identification and stuff, and like dinosaurs.
Uh-oh.
Like I still have a couple of those.
Did I? Okay, there we go. Like I thought I broke the website.
You just broke the internet.
Let's
The whole
see.
internet.
Yep, it's all broken.
See, red seismics.
Red seismics. Let's look at that. This is a sign. Hear that? The deep and rhythmic sounds present throughout Mystery Flesh Pit National Park are the result of enormous biological processes. The massive circulatory systems of the Permian Basin superorganism, driven by distant and titanic geothermal hearts, combine with sounds from shifting bone structures to create a constant low-frequency hum called red seismic frequencies. Scientists carefully study red seismics to learn more about the Mystery Flesh Pit. And let me make sure my music has not stopped. Yes, I'm still watching. Thank you. Let's see. Much like a doctor who using a stethoscope, while disconcerting at first, many who work within the park for long periods have reported that the constant sounds become comforting. Listen to your own heartbeat. Can you hear the similarities? And I know Emmykins likes to hear things. So I can see how that would make sense.
Well, because I mean, I guess like if you work there, you would get to where
you're used to it.
You're like, okay, that's the sound. Yeah, and like if anything changes, then you're like, what was that?
Right, like something's gone wrong. Let's see. How deep down does this go?
Freefall.
Project Freefall?
Oh, it probably goes deep. Yeah, there it is. Joint U.S.-Soviet expedition into the Mystery
I think this was before the park existed. Because they had to because people had to go in there before they had all the equipment, you know? You can look at the Circus Clown Chimus.
Circus Clown.
Geobiological feature. No laughing matter. Though it may look like a colorful ice cream birthday cake covered in a glazed frosting, this calcified formation is anything but festive. In 1976, a group of performers accidentally fell into the upper maw of the entry orifice. While the soft flesh of the pit throat somewhat cushioned the performer's fall, the unexpected dilation of an epiglottal fold allowed them to slide down into within unreinforced area of the pit. Rescue personnel were able to locate the performers inside a digestive sac a few hours later, but by that time all 50 stunts people had already begun being digested by the pit. Rescue personnel cut them out, correctly guessing that many were still alive. An experimental antacid spray was discharged on top of the gooey, shrieking mound, but it was too late. Instead of reducing the acidic effects on the partially digested bodies of the performers, the experimental compound flash calcified into the multicolored formation you see in front of you.
Oh my god!
Though hauntingly beautiful, the Circus Clown Chimus is a somber reminder of why it's always important to observe all safety instructions and to always stay on marked trails while visiting the interior of the Mystery Flesh Pit.
Do people?
That's like that guy who he went into the hot springs at Yellowstone.
Which one?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know, how many incidents do we have to have
like
before people stop goofing around?
50 people. See, now I gotta look that one up later and be like, what happened here?
All right, and then I guess we can see what kind of caused the so this is the 2007 disaster report. So this is what caused the park to get closed down. So, prepared in cooperation with the U.S. Department of the Interior, the National Park Service, and the U.S. Geological Survey, the U.S. Commission on Geobiological Resources and Public Safety, CGR, is an independent federal agency whose mission is to ensure the safety of workers, the public, and the environment by investigating and preventing incidents relating to the Permian Basin superorganism. So the Permian Basin superorganism is the actual, like, cave pit itself, whatever. The CGR is a scientific investigative organization. It is not an enforcement or regulatory body. Okay, blah, blah, blah. No part of the conclusions, finding, or recommendations of the CGR relating to any accident may be admitted as evidence or used in any action or suit. So this is pretty standard stuff for investigations of this kind.
Yeah.
Here is a map.
Executive summary.
Can we open this and make it larger? No, we cannot.
It gives you the separate image. You might be able to zoom in, but
yeah, I'm not gonna. It causes more trouble than it's worth. All right.
Let's see.
So let's look at the executive summary.
Ooh, second paragraph. No, the second paragraph there, where it says investigators have concluded that this disaster was chiefly characterized by a premature geobiological consumption event caused by the catastrophic failure of critical park infrastructure to constrain and limit the gastric motor and neurological actions of the Permian Basin superorganism.
Yep.
Wow, what is it? Hold up.
So do you want to read this? Do you want to read this first paragraph here? Go for it.
At 9:41 p.m. Central Standard Time on July 4th, 2007, the Permian Basin superorganism natural preserve, known colloquially as the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park, experienced a catastrophic disaster which resulted in over 750 fatalities and over 1,800 major injuries. In the weeks following the incident, approximately 18,000 individuals from the surrounding communities sought medical and psychological treatment for ailments including breathing problems, chest pains, shortness of breath, nausea, birth defects, hallucinations, depression, anxiety, internal bleeding, sore throat, and headaches as a direct result of contact with gastric ejecta, which had been introduced to the atmosphere. Honestly, that list sounds like a prescription.
Yeah, it's side effects.
The side effects.
Rillet thought this was alien and was very confused. No, this is PlatformingPangolin, who has joined us today to explore some national parks. We're currently looking at the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park, and she is reading about what happened, basically.
The incident.
So investigators have concluded that the failure of these critical safety measures are the direct result of negligent practices by the primary site operations contractor, Anodyne Deep Earth Mining, a subsidiary of Anodyne Incorporated. The U.S. Commission on Geobiological Resources and Public Safety released its first report on the Permian Basin superorganism disaster in August 2007. The interim report, which highlighted technical findings and safety system deficiencies. The report issued recommendations to Anodyne Incorporated, the city of Gumption, Texas, the state of Texas, the U.S. Department of the Interior, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, and the U.S. Department of Energy. As of April 2008, these groups have made progress in implementing the recommendations to improve the regulatory requirements for geobiological resource extraction, geobiological resource containment, and general public safety as it relates to the Permian Basin superorganism.
I do have to interject here.
Yeah.
That I was wondering how I hadn't heard of an incident that big in 2007, and I just Snopes says that incident is false.
Okay, well, thanks for ruining the fun, Pangolin. This whole thing is all fake. Everything here has been made up the entire time.
The whole thing?
This is all a work of fiction.
Now I'm sad.
Everything. Yes, this is by one guy who has created all of this.
Aw, I was really excited.
Well, it's closed anyway, even if it was real. Giving
But still, like
Rilla.
it looked real. Like it was really well put together.
I know, right?
I have to admit, like I genuinely thought it was a real.
So if you've been watching this whole time and you're like, how have I never heard of this? It's because it is fake. Yeah, well, okay, it's fake in the sense that like a story, a fictional novel is fake. It is a work of fiction meant to entertain and amuse. But we can continue because this actually gets kind of interesting.
Ruined it. I'm sorry.
No,
That
that's
is a
okay.
really cool. Like
We would have had to tell you eventually.
So much work went into it. And then I would have been extra sad.
Yeah. Yeah, she found out. Who let her go on the Snopes? Keep her off the internet.
My phone.
All right.
No, because I was living in, like, I know I was living in Tennessee, and I was like expecting my first child in August of 2007, and I was like, how did I not hear about this?
I don't know.
This is a really well put together thing, though.
That's why I decided this would be the topic for this evening. The previous two entries, Yosemite and Yellowstone, were to throw you off the scent.
Well done. Well played, sir.
I
well
know.
played.
I know. It lasted over an hour. The Permian Basin super creature is in fact not real, Rilla.
That's funny.
All right. Do you want to tell us about the Permian Basin superorganism that does not exist?
Allegedly. Let's see. The Permian Basin superorganism, Imanus colossius, also known by the popular nomenclature of mystery flesh pit, is a subterranean organism unique to modern biology, being the sole occupant of the phylum Imanemqua. Imanemqua?
I guess so.
Is that a Q? That's a Q,
yeah,
right?
Imanemqua.
Imanemqua. The organism was discovered by a pilot well drilling crew in 1973. Later efforts were made to expose more of the organism through drilling and surface mining explosives. The superorganism is chiefly characterized by its immense size, which is still a matter of geobiological debate. Surveys suggest that the organism may span hundreds of miles beneath the Permian Basin horizontally, with scientists speculating that the organism may extend vertically into the upper mantle of the Earth's interior. Wow.
It's a big boy, yeah.
Tissue samples. Oh my God. Is this all the work of like one person, or
this is
like
one guy?
a bunch
Yep.
of people?
Just
wow.
Yep. A lot of work went into all this stuff.
This is really good world building.
So every time you were saying they should make a horror movie out of this,
oh my God.
and basically is a horror movie. It's sort of it's like a mashup of Jurassic Park and I don't know, like Cronenberg.
What is it, man? I see. You found out.
Where are you looking at?
It's over at the chat on my phone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Found out. See, here's the thing. I thought for sure you would have been like, wait a minute, way earlier than when we started talking about the disaster. We got to the very end before you even thought anything.
The 50 stunt people seemed suspicious, and the picture of the guy, because where it said where they had the thing to temporarily expand the opening until they could get proper things, I was like, that's really weird for geological stuff.
I mean, have you seen like the gear that spelunkers wear?
Yes,
it's pretty similar,
but I haven't. Exactly. That's why I was like, wow, I just must not know about that part of spelunking.
Well, keep in mind, this is a it's not a cave, it's a mystery flesh pit.
Yeah.
It's a living thing.
Well, exactly.
So they have to have slightly different equipment than just rocks, you know?
Wow. That's so cool, though.
All right, so I'm going to go over the timeline here so we can kind of break down the horror as it happened. So 10:29 a.m., July 4th. So this is 15 years ago yesterday. Unseasonably high rains forced park administrators to cancel a July 4th concert and fireworks display scheduled to take place on the surface park grounds. Many visitors who had already purchased tickets to the event become upset, and a decision is made to extend the park hours until midnight for those who had purchased event tickets. At 8 p.m., normal closing time. A typical shift change of reduced night staff is in the control room takes place. 9:16, harvesting crews working in the western extremities of the organism set a new extraction record to meet a quota for bonuses in time for the holiday weekend. 9:30, control room operators initiate a routine system self-test and discover a relay fault error resulting from increased electrical demand from mining equipment and tourist infrastructure. A control room operator logs the fault and notifies an on-duty engineer. 9:41, water drainage from surface rain into the entry orifice begins to collect in the sand gullet. Drainage pumps are automatically activated by a sensor system, but fail to initialize due to the relay fault. An emergency backup pump running on a separate emergency circuit is automatically activated. 9:42, a critical alarm in the control room alerts operators that the emergency water pump has seized and is inoperative. Under lubrication of the pump's impeller bushings resulted in corrosion due to the moist interior of the flesh pit environment. Mac Truck wants us to watch the Wendigoon video on the mystery flesh pit. Oh, okay, next time he's over at your house. Yeah, that's where I learned about this from Wendigoon. So props to him.
I'm gonna write that down.
9:48.
And he didn't ruin it. He played along too.
He did play along. Thank you, Mac Truck. Very helpful.
Mac Truck, I love you so much.
All right. At 9:48, technicians arrive at the primary pump station to discover the sand gullet almost completely submerged. Water begins to pour over the dorsal respiratory ridge and into bronchial bulbules. Control room operators divert power to hydraulic stent rams to brace for expected choke response. 9:51, technicians
Expected choke response.
Technicians repair the relay fault as control staff reset the park's electrical grid. So it's like Jurassic Park now. The grid is offline for 45 seconds.
Michael Crichton novel.
The automatic PA system does not notify guests, as the system is scheduled to automatically shut down at the normal 8 p.m. closing time. The temporary lapse of lighting causes many guests to become panicked and return to the main gantry lift at the lower visitor center. 9:52, a choking action from the organism begins 31 seconds into the electrical reset. The main dorsal trunk violently flexes. Lack of power to hydraulic arming rams cause irreparable damage to several sections of internal infrastructure. 9:53, as the electrical systems finishes the reboot cycle, the dynamic hydraulic actuators supporting the lower visitor center overcorrect for stability, not accounting for the shift in the wall lining of the nexial cavity in which the visitor center facility is anchored. 2 of the 6 structural supports are torn from their foundations, which causes the facility to list 20 degrees off of vertical. The base joint of the vertical entry gantry is bent beyond its design limit angle.
Ooh.
9:54, the master alarm is tripped automatically. Surface facilities are notified as response teams are given the order to mobilize. 9:56, park rangers are dispatched to rescue groups of visitors trapped in partially collapsed tunnels and trails.
Ugh.
All right, hang on, we're getting
nasty.
We're getting some static from you.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, you got something going on?
Don't think so.
Okay. We'll see if it happens again.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. It's just there was like some background static that was getting picked up, I guess.
Oh, okay. I do have an air conditioner going.
Yeah.
I don't know if that
those can get
interferes
picked
or
up. When are we getting? Let's get Mac on the stream. He seems cool.
Yeah. Mac.
Well, not right now, but like in the future.
No.
We'll do something fun like this. I love looking at weird stuff on the internet. Continued movement.
This is the sort of thing that I would like find, and like even if I had established early on that it was fake, I would have just been like reading it until like 3 o'clock in the morning and then been like, why am I so tired?
Well, we only looked at a few of these. There's a lot more to explore. So if you want to, I don't know, I guess I can send you the link. But it's just mystery.
Look it up later.
It's mysteryfleshpitnationalpark.com. It's all one big word. All right. Continued movement of the organism combined with rainwater causes one of the upper entry gantry supports to slip. An outbound elevator conducts an emergency stop, stranding over 24 visitors. 10:05. Tremors registered as far away as the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So that's like hundreds of miles away. 1006, soil liquefaction destabilizes surface facilities in and around the organism. Dilation anchors begin retracting to keep the entry orifice open. 1012, a master failsafe is activated by the automated park management system. 20,000 liters of aconitine compound are injected into the superorganism via a distributed network of relay stations located throughout its known internal anatomy.
Okay, that soil liquefaction bit
Yeah?
is such a cool little detail to add.
I mean, that's what happens during an earthquake.
Like, yeah, it like I'm super impressed with how much this person looked into like how geological things work and then ran with it.
Now there are a few, you'll
Good.
notice some grammatical and spelling errors. That's, you know, a couple of the things that might give it away as not an official document. Although I wouldn't put it past.
There's a lot of typos in official documents.
I wouldn't put it past the government to put out like something with typos in it. All right.
Like I have found typos in like official government because I've done some editing work, so like I spot them whenever I'm reading anything. Like even if it's just a basic typo, I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, typo. And like even in like official court documents and official things from like the EPA and stuff, like you'll find little typos here and there. So the fact that there are little typos doesn't by itself signify that it's fake.
Exactly.
And the English and grammar are good enough in the rest of it, and the terminology that he uses for it.
Yep. Did a lot of research.
Yeah, like I would love to know how much time it took him to go from idea to like from the time he started like really working on it to like actually having a complete thing that he was like, okay, now it's ready.
Well, it's very similar to like an SCP, right? Where you come up with an idea and then you build around it.
My kids love the SCP.
Oh
stuff.
No, they do.
Oh yeah, oh it's so funny. Like they know the numbers of them and stuff.
My favorite SCP is SCP-42069.
Which one is that?
It's not a real one. That's just it's the funny number. Okay, so where were the aconitine has been injected into the superorganism. 1012, also 1012. Tremors and convulsions intensify as the entry-gantry connection to the lower visitor center detaches completely. The lower visitor center begins to collapse downward into the nexial cavity. 1012, also 1012. Peristaltic muscle action on the nexial cavity begins to exert substantial pressure on the outer structure of the lower visitor center facility. 1015. The prime labia junction, just west of the septum falls geobiological feature, flexes into an open position, releasing a torrent of lactogastric chyma into the dorsal trunk. All right, some of those words are made up. It is likely this was a reaction to the aconitine injection. And 16, peristaltic spasms force the caustic chyma slurry through the nexial cavity and up through the lower and upper moisture crop toward the surface orifice. Do you have a question?
Oh, no, I was just wondering, like, I think is chyma actually a word?
I think it's stomach acid.
Is that what it is?
I think so. You have your phone. You looked it up on Snopes.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Look up chyma.
No.
Not a word?
It's not a word.
That's gotta be a word.
Wait. Chyma meaning in biology specifically. It means infilling. But
Really?
it's like part of it's not usually a word by itself. It's like like there's parenchyma, which is like a type of simple permanent tissue that makes up a major part of ground tissues in plants.
So this guy just picked a biology word and ran with it.
Yeah,
perhaps.
it's like filling. So yeah. So, but like, unless you knew what the word meant in biological context, like
you would just assume, like, oh yeah, of course, chyma, duh.
It's just like, yeah, that's a thing. And there's enough buzzwords throughout it that look official.
Prime labia junction.
Yeah.
That's probably something. I don't know. Not a biologist. Okay, so where were we? 10:16 p.m. Many guests attempting to flee the stalled elevator near the entry orifice attempt climbing out the upper moisture crop, but are ultimately unsuccessful due to torrential rain causing the surfaces to become very slippery. Many end up falling back into the maw. 10:17 p.m. The Kaima slurry erupts from the surface orifice in a geyser several hundred meters in height. Large pieces of undigested organic matter crush several vehicles and damage windows. 10:19. Following the several minute-long ejecta event, a deep and incredibly loud roar erupts from the entry orifice as ground tremors intensify further. Large extremities begin surfacing through bedrock and soil approximately 30 to 120 kilometers from the entry orifice.
Wow.
10:25. The acrid smell of the gastric ejecta can be detected as far as Odessa, Texas. 10:26. 2 Park Service vehicles and a tour vehicle containing Park Service employees and several guests attempt to ascend through the entry orifice tube. 10:27. Peristaltic action crushes one of the tour vehicles and sucks the other 2 vehicles back into the nexial cavity and down into a digestive organ. These vehicles are presumed destroyed. 10:58. The Pentagon
Terrifying.
is given authorization from the White House to use nuclear force if necessary to prevent the organism from entering an active and/or ambulatory state. That sounds about right.
Yeah, it does.
Can we blow it up? We can try.
Get ready with the nuke, guys.
Yeah, get the nukes ready. 11:02. The on-site operations director within the lower visitor center control room initiates a final fail-safe measure in the form of the contingency measure. Redacted. 11:02. Master event log records successful spin-up of the redacted. Lower visitor center structural integrity is critically compromised, resulting in total collapse. Data connection with lower visitor center is severed at 11:05. 11:13.
Wow.
Spasms and motor action of the superorganism begins to noticeably subside. Response teams begin to descend into the surface orifice to attempt rescue operations. 11:19. Response team encounters visitor group which had attempted escape from stalled elevator. Most are dead. The remainder are mortally wounded and partially digested due to caustic gastric ejecta.
Oh god.
It puked on them. 11:42. So this is like 20 minutes later. Radio contact established with Ranger vehicle trapped within Oyster's Shame. Due to ventricle closure, no feasible rescue strategy can be developed before complete mastication occurs. Mastication here meaning to chew.
Dude. Yep.
11:56. Response team confirms that contingency measure and associated facility are still intact and operating. 11:58. Texas Governor Rick Perry formally declares a state of emergency for Gumption County. 12:22. So it is now the morning of July 5th. Response teams route data power umbilical to new base camp and contingency measure facility. 12:35. 3 interpit lifeforms are identified as having been ejected onto the surface. 15 visitors are injured and 7 are hunted by interpit lifeforms during panicked evacuation of surface resort.
I'm imagining like John Carpenter's The Thing.
Maybe a little bit like that,
It's
a little
just
bit
like-
of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, just like running around.
12:41. Park staff managed to kill the 3 large lifeforms. 1:02 a.m.
Ow.
National Guard helicopters begin delivering supplies and personnel to aid in site containment. 1:58. Field hospital is constructed to care for wounded visitors and staff. 2:37 a.m. Initial damage surveys report catastrophic destruction of internal park infrastructure. Pit geobiology has dramatically changed in hazard level. At 3 o'clock in the morning on July 5th, emergency teleconference of Anodyne Executive Leadership, National Parks Director, and Secretary of the Interior are present. At 3:12, executive decision is made to initiate FEMA response and assemble a task force for containing superorganism. At 4 o'clock,
Containing.
yeah, how do you contain something that is this big? You don't. Media helicopters and vehicles begin to report on the scope of disasters. So yeah, here comes all the news media. 4:39 a.m. Base camp technicians begin to spin down contingency measure. Large fractures due to inertial stress have appeared on mineral components. Engineers advise against reinitializing contingency measure until mineral components can be replaced or repaired. 6:08 a.m. Ground personnel begin assembling a pump system to inject industrial sedatives into the superorganism. Transport trucks containing industrial sedative arrive. 9:45 a.m. Emergency teleconference of Anodyne shareholders. 11:20 a.m. Several injured visitors inexplicably leave field hospital and begin walking toward open pit orifice. Approximately 38 individuals are able to crawl back into the orifice over the course of 8 hours. None are recovered.
Wow.
That sounds like Junji Ito.
Yes,
This-
that's what I'm thinking of.
This hole was made for me.
Yes.
Okay, yes. So you're familiar with the Junji Ito stuff, which is convenient. And then 3:51, radio transmission from trapped ranger vehicle ceases. Many speculate that other small groups of visitors and staff are still trapped. So there you go. That's the whole timeline.
That's a really well.
You could turn that into a script.
Thing. Yeah, like, and it reminds me of if you've ever read like Michael Crichton books.
Nope.
Like not because they didn't do it so much in like the Jurassic Park movies, but if you read like the book of it, there were a lot of the stuff happened because of like little things that went wrong.
Right.
That weren't necessarily related to each other. It was just like this thing, you know, got skipped over on maintenance because they were running behind schedule and they were going to get it next time. And then like this thing, somebody brought in coffee without a lid on it and it spilled, you know, like it's just a whole bunch of little things.
Right. It's like a comedy of errors or a compounding of failures.
Like, and he had like there was a 20-minute gap between where the 3 creatures were spotted and where they were reported as having been killed.
Right, yeah.
Like, so well thought out. This is the level of world building that I aspire to.
Oh yeah, what's your excuse?
With things like D&D or writing or anything, like being able to just like think all of those things through.
Yeah, I don't know if I could come up with something this creative. I'm gonna be honest.
It would take me so long. And it's really hard. Like the thing for me on writing and compiling like this much information on stuff is just like you get to a certain point where you're like you don't feel like you've made progress and you're just like, oh my god, am I ever going to actually finish this before I die of old age?
No.
Like exactly. This is so well put together.
And look at this picture that has been created here.
Yeah.
So we have
like the visuals and everything.
This is showing the pumps. So this is the one that failed, and then this one also was not maintained, so it also failed. And then you can see this is how the lower visitor center was set up before, and now the whole thing is like closed up. So it's all different now.
That's so cool. And like the biology drawings of the critters.
Very,
really
very
well
cool,
done,
yeah.
Too. Yeah.
And here's the contingency measure.
method.
Yeah, so some kind of weird crystal thing. If you read into it a little more, it goes into like, I think there's stuff with like Native Americans used to worship this thing, and they would do like these things with the crystals. Let's see. So yeah, this is very long, by the way.
Yeah, containment recommendations.
Ooh, here we go. This is a cross section.
Oh, that's so cool. It's like in the anatomy book.
Yeah, you can see the top.
Yeah.
And you've got like, yeah, it looks like skin almost, and then it's got all kinds of crazy stuff going on. Blue tissue.
Just blue tissue. It's blue. We know it's blue.
We don't know what's below that. And then then it gives some recommendations. There's a conclusion.
What kind of sedatives would you even use on that?
Just like regular sedatives, but in large quantities. Oh, they have pins. Oh, you got to go to the shop. Well, let's look at the shop. Oh, they're out. They sold out. I'm sure immediately. There were only 85 of them. That's too bad.
Aww.
Hey, what is this? Exclusive offer. Finally, the therapeutic benefits of amniotic ballast now available in your own home. GeoSpa in-home ballast spas. if I was rich enough to have a hot tub, I guess I could maybe afford to get whatever this is. Get some amniotic ballast in my life. We didn't really look at this one, the bronchial forest.
Oh.
A living, breathing forest. During the winter.
Okay, now see, if I'd seen this earlier, I would have been deeply suspicious.
I don't know. You were along for the ride for a long time.
I was.
We looked at the amniotic
like,
ballast.
No, Starshine wouldn't lie to me.
I'm not lying to you. I'm just showing you something. I didn't say it was real. It's even got the little National Park Service on there.
Exactly.
Of course it's real. Yeah, look, it inhales in the winter and then it exhales in the summer. Let's see.
Really cool.
Anything? Oh, bronchial wildlife. Fun. What is this thing?
What is
a
that
pneumoray.
What's that thing on the right?
A lone macrobacteria. It's a macrobacteria. And we have some luminescent fungus.
I was trying to picture the macrobacteria. I was not picturing something that kind of looked like a sea urchin.
A little poof ball there.
Yeah, I was imagining more like a puffball mushroom type thing.
Yeah.
But bigger.
Sure. What else? Did we look at anything else? I feel like we looked at most of the heavy hitters here.
That's so it's still really impressive though, from like a
creativity standpoint.
World building, yeah.
Graphic design.
And a dedication. Like, man, I gotta pep talk myself to do my laundry some days.
This guy is like, I'll work on the mystery flesh bit today. I'm not doing anything else.
Gosh. Like,
wait, you didn't look at this whole thing.
For the dedication involved, man. And I'm sure other people like contributed here and there, like to the art maybe, but like, that's so cool.
So here, this would be the 2007 to present sign. Attention, extreme danger, stop. This area has been quarantined for your safety. Over 582 people have died attempting to commune with the superorganism. Fact, the US government is unable to rescue individuals trapped by the superorganism. Fact, you will not receive a gift from the superorganism. Fact, you will find no answers beyond this fence. There's nothing beyond this fence worth dying for. You got the Jurassic Park electrified fence with 10,000 volts.
The thing that I was expecting to see in the report that I did not see was a thing talking about like shutting down coverage of it until like a much later time when the report could be released, like, you know, on page 37.
That would explain why you hadn't seen it.
Yeah, like okay. I was expecting that. Like that would have, and that would also, like, not to that scale necessarily, but like, you know, stuff happens and the government, like, you know, quietly puts
it's classified for however many years exactly.
Yeah.
Now
like the stuff, like the studies on like the effects of Agent Orange on
exact stuff like
on
that.
soldiers and stuff. Like they had the study and everything, and then they were like, "Yep, we're gonna look this over, and then we're gonna release it," and then it just like never got released.
This was another one I was trying to kind of skip over because I feel like this looks way too. It was way too giveaway that this is like something weird's going on here. I'm like, we'll skip that one. So I tried to keep the information to a minimum to avoid.
And you set it up really well when you were like, you know, when I was there and I saw like the billboards and stuff.
I know. I knew that would come in handy. Perfect. We can see if next time we have you on, we'll get you with something else. What else how much can I get Pangolin to buy into something? That is the question. While the park was still open, has anyone ever tried to eat parts of the mystery flesh creature? I know they drink the fluid stuff, but what about the meat parts?
Wow.
Oh, and here's some CNN coverage. Disaster at Living National Park.
Okay, yeah, I definitely would have seen it. Wow.
I mean, how long you expect them to cover it for? Were you watching the news all the time in 2007?
I mean, I really was, though.
Oh, damn. Nothing gets past Pangolin.
No, it was the fact, because at that point, I had like, I was pregnant with my first child, and I had like just left a job, and we were about to be moving to Tennessee to live with my mom for a bit, and like I was watching TV at the place that we were staying, and I'm a news geek, so
I gotcha. I want to find the gift gardens, but I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah.
Now, let me see. The gift gardens are actually super interesting. I'm gonna try to see if I can Google that.
I think like there was something in one of like the brochures, I think, where it like mentioned it, but it didn't have any pictures.
Yeah, I'm gonna just see if there's a quick link to it. There's a post on Reddit. I guess that might work. If it loads. Oh, okay. So this is, okay, here's the guy who actually made it. This is his Reddit account posting this.
Cool.
So, this is a picture of the gift gardens and Strange Vehicles, who is the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park creator. That's his account. One of the most popular natural attractions driving traffic to the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park were the so-called gift gardens. This unique geobiological feature was extensively studied during the heyday of the park, despite the exact mechanism of its operation remaining elusive to scientists to this day. Hey, Skid and Bops here. The fuck am I reading? It's Mystery Flesh Pit. Everybody knows about the Mystery Flesh Pit.
It's full pangolin night. Is right?
Yeah, we got her good. We had her going for an hour. That this was a real place.
I trusted you.
All right. Deep within the anatomy of the Permian Basin superorganism was a vast organ composed of large bronchioles containing tens of thousands of gift sacs. These sacs were fed by nutrient arteries rich in materials such as polyplastics, metal granules, silicates, and even organic wood and fabric fibers. Through a process believed to involve neural tissues of the pit receiving background brainwaves from human activity, the gift gardens would grow various items and articles familiar to guests of the park, such as old appliances, childhood toys, photos of loved ones thought to be lost, and other similar items of immense nostalgic value to certain individuals. Analysis and thorough dissection of various items recovered from the gardens revealed them to be convincing and occasionally functional facsimiles of these objects, rather than perfectly operational copies. Once these items had achieved gestational completion, the sacs would begin to turn translucent as the feeder vessels atrophied away. Park service workers, using specialized machines designed to traverse the hostile interior of the Mystery Flesh Pit's anatomical environment, would harvest these items by cutting open the sacs and retrieving the objects within. After being cleaned, sterilized, and inspected, these items would have been put on display in the National Park Gift Annex, a modern and well-lit facility connected to the rest of the reinforced trails within the organism. Guests to the park were free to browse the many dozens of aisles of collected items when, on rare occasions, guests would inexplicably find a singular item that held nostalgic meaning and importance beyond that of any other object within the annex. For this reason, guests were limited to one gift selection per visit to the park and were allowed to keep the gift in exchange for a small operations and overhead fee. Cool. Free gifts.
Yeah, that weren't, murderous. I was waiting for it to be like, yeah, and they would like eat people.
Oh no, it seems like it's legit. They actually give out
really cool.
gift sacks, like Santa pit.
It's like the nice version of the Junji Ito thing.
Yeah.
Like, this is my toy.
Let's see,
this
where's
my
Dessa?
thing.
So that would be. So it'd be like right in here. I wonder. I don't know if Gumption's a real place. I wonder.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, and it was like, now that I know that it's fake, or now that I know that the park is fake.
Yeah.
I want to see. Hold on, let me see. Was it Gumption, Texas?
Yeah. So it would have been like right in here where La Mesa is, judging by the map that we saw earlier.
Ooh,
Let's go back to Mystery Flesh Pit.
So, okay, so there are other places named Gumption, but they're all fictional.
Well, there you go.
So
doesn't even exist. They made it up. Hold on, I have something for this.
You have something for this?
I have something for this. We got this.
Traffic.
No way. Not this time. We created it. Not this time. No, not this time.
Wait, you can't hear that.
What'd you say?
Hold on, Kit, put the stream on. You ready?
Hold on. Let me mute my mic for a second just so I don't get feedback.
Skid and Bop went to go take a dump. All right. We're talking about the mystery flesh pit, although we're wrapping up now. We have talked about it. Okay, you ready? Here we go.
Hold up. I'm like, I turned up my stream. Hold on.
Okay,
Go
I'm
ahead.
going. I'm going.
It's false. No way. Not this time. We created it. Not this time. No, not this time. It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction. We made it up. We made this one up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened. It never happened. This one was invented by a writer. Not this time. It never happened. It's false. It never happened.
And so on and so forth. You get it? Did you hear it?
Hold up. I have such a lag here. Hold up.
Oh no. So that's super laggy. Oh no, chat. I ran it for like 30 seconds. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else we want to look at?
Is that from the oh, what was that, like Unexplained Mysteries?
It's from Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction with Jonathan Frakes.
I used to watch that show.
Yep, a lot of people did.
I used to love that show.
They'd always have like these crazy things and like, this is real. Like, I don't know if it happened the way you said it did. You're making a lot of assumptions.
Have the dramatic lighting.
Yeah. Didn't have the dramatic lighting, and a ghost probably didn't do it. So when you said a ghost did it, you should maybe find a better...
An unexplained thing happened.
Yeah, an unexplained thing. What is this? This is a political thing.
A Texans for tomorrow.
This November, help us eliminate the oppressive Bush-era bureaucratic regulation that's currently strangling our ability to provide jobs and prosperity to the disadvantaged communities of the South Plains.
A slightly concerning mailer ad going out to Texans this week. Oh, it's the Anodyne logo.
Yeah, so this is...
They're looking to like re-open.
Anodyne is, I think, sort of a cross universe thing that lots of creators have used in their creative writing stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen that a lot. Rilip says, do you remember the tallest man you've ever seen?
It reminds me of Yo-Yo-Dine.
Yo-Yo-Dine.
Yeah, so Yo-Yo-Dine was the company, and I oh gosh.
All right.
Come on, brain.
Use your words. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Guys, send your mental energy to Pangolin, please.
Yo-Yo-Dine is
All right, time's up.
Okay, so
we don't get to know what it is now.
There's a real Yo-Yo-Dine company that does like race car parts and stuff.
Yo-Yo-Dine.
But it's also where I first heard it was from the Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension.
Oh, that show from 1984.
Movie.
That you were film, yes. Hey, you're somehow familiar with this.
You're so weird. It's hilarious.
Okay.
He came through and he's like, yeah, I did surgery this morning. And it's in it's referenced in Star Trek series. And it's referenced in the series Angel. And where else did I? The Cuckoo's Egg, Silicon Valley, The Neverending Story 2.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
The Neverending Story 2 used the name Yo-Yo-Dine Corp on a spray paint can label wished for by the main character, is what Wikipedia said. Well,
there you go.
I did remember it.
So I don't remember exactly what Anodyne is used in. I want to say it's in that analog horror community where they use it. Are you familiar with analog horror?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Have you seen Local 58 and Gemini Home Entertainment?
I've seen some Gemini stuff. I don't think I've seen Local 58.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like I'm mostly familiar with it all though, because I watch Wendigoon and he covers a lot of this stuff.
I'm gonna have to check out Wendigoon later. Like, so How did I find out about? I'm trying to remember how I found out about analog horror. Like we came across it, I think, like it popped up on something describing analog horror. Like popped up on Luke's Facebook feed one time, I think, and we were like, "What is this?" And we found Local 58 and Gemini Home Entertainment.
Like spooky, but also kind of cool.
Yeah, but like a lot of it is just like, you know, if a simple thing went wrong, sort of thing. Like we watched one the other day. We were just going through some of the ones we hadn't watched yet, and there was one that was like the GPS leading you off into the unbeaten path, so to speak. And we were like, this is fey horror.
Like that episode of The Office where Michael drives the car into the lake because it said to turn right.
I haven't actually watched all of The Office. I've
Oh
only seen,
no.
like, parts of it. I know, like I've seen clips of
Everybody's seen The Office. How can you have not seen The Office?
I don't know.
What were you watching instead?
Let's see. What was I watching instead? I'm trying to remember when it was running on the like when it was actively running. Because it was running for a while.
Like
I don't
9 seasons.
know. Yeah, like I think because I didn't think that it appealed to me until it was like midway through the show, I think.
And then it was too late.
And then I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to like sit and like really watch like the whole thing, and then I just around to it.
Fair enough.
Like I have this huge list of things. And
Well, then I gotta watch this, and then I gotta watch this.
And I just had to like accept that I will probably never get through my list of things. I just like go at it when I have a chance.
It's chipping away.
Oh,
You gotta
man.
make time for these things.
Yeah, I try to like. So I'll watch like 15-minute chunks.
Of The Office?
like of anything.
That's not gonna
like
work.
it could be a movie or a show. Like
15 minutes of a movie at a time. That sounds awful.
It is, but that's what you have to do sometimes. when
Mac
you
is
have,
making a
like-
great point. Once you click your first iceberg video, it's downhill from there.
Oh yeah. It
Yeah.
really is.
It's all been downhill for me.
But then I'll get stuff like when I first started watching Handmaid's Tale.
Oh
I was
no.
like, I put the kids to bed and I was like, I'm just gonna watch like the first episode to see how it is, see if it's worth my time, and then I'm gonna go to bed. And like 6 o'clock the next morning, I had to stop with like 30 minutes left to the end of the first season because it was time to get the kids up to get them ready for school.
Oh no.
Because I was just like, oh, what happened?
Heck says, I watch movies and series during lunchtime. Lots of unintentional cliffhangers. Oh no. It's like when I was watching the new He-Man show, which had an intentional cliffhanger because they released it in, I don't know why Netflix does this. They're like, okay, we'll release the first half of the season and then we'll release the second half later. It's like, just call it season 1 and season 2. Don't don't tug on me and be like, well, you know, this is only the first half. You got to stick around for the second half.
Yeah, like that's why I'm behind on Handmaid's Tale right now. Is because I was so excited about the 4th season coming out, and then it dropped, and I was like, yes. And I went and I opened up Hulu and I looked at it, and it's like the first 2 episodes,
Yeah.
and it's like the next 2 episodes will drop this date, and I was like, no, I need the entire season so that I can just binge watch it.
Rest in peace, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6. Is that Stone Ocean? Is that still in limbo? People are still waiting on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Dude.
I just don't watch any anime now because I don't know. Well, for various reasons. No, for various reasons. It seems like the only anime that appeals to me is the weird stuff. And
have you seen the Big O?
Big O? That's not an anime.
The Big O, yes it is. I
Wait,
swear
hang
it
on.
is.
I don't
an actual-
hold on.
It's I like to tell people it's a story about a boy and his mech. It's
Okay, it actually is. This okay, I'm thinking of a different show. Big O,
it's
yeah.
a guy who he's a negotiator, and he'll like if you get a ransom, like if you get a family, like if a family member's kidnapped and they contact you for ransom, like he'll be called in to handle the negotiation of it.
Oh, like the A-Team. No, wait, they just
Yeah,
come in
and
they just come in and rescue you.
Yeah, but he's not supposed to rescue. He's just supposed to like negotiate the terms.
Sure,
but
yeah.
He has this giant mech,
All right.
and it's a neat. The thing that makes the show different from a standard mech show is, first off, it's very Art Deco style.
Yep, I see that in the imagery here that I'm seeing. Well, I guess I can bring this up.
And it's got this really nice jazz soundtrack. And the central concept of the show is that the people of Paradigm City lost their memory.
Oh.
And you have the younger people who don't really remember, like they didn't really have a thing to forget before it happened. And they just are living their lives and dealing with things, but then like old people pretty much lost like their entire lives.
Oh no.
And have just had to like find meaning with no memory of who they were. And so like and at various points, like people get flashbacks, they'll get like a snippet of a memory of something, and like they don't even know if there's other countries still out there or if like everything got destroyed. Like they have no idea. And it's a really cool little show. And like the second season was done by Cartoon Network.
Toonami.
Yeah, like they like the first season ended and it got canceled in Japan. But so many people in the US fell in love with it and were pushing for like, you know, what happens in the rest of the story, that Cartoon Network bought the rights to it and made a second season, which is like different, but I still like it very much. Like I like the two seasons for very different reasons.
All right, but this is not nearly weird enough for me to watch.
It's weirder than the plot description on Wikipedia.
No.
No, it's
when I
it's
say
not
weird, I
enough.
mean stuff like domestic girlfriend. Or hang on,
I'll
let me
have to write that one down.
hold on. Yeah, start writing these down because you'll get an idea of what I might be interested in. All right, so we got domestic girlfriend.
Oh no, in chat.
Oh no. My sister, my writer.
Hold up.
What
You
is
said domestic girlfriend, my sister, my writer?
Yeah.
Like writer of a story?
Yeah. And what was the other one? Aramanga Sensei?
Aramanga.
So Maskinabop is like, oh no, stop.
No.
Interspecies
No,
reviewers.
don't.
Interspecies reviewers, if you're familiar with that one. Yeah, Skin and Bop. Aramanga Sensei is fine. He wants, okay. So that one's fine, he says.
He's like worse than Cooley Fooly? Or Fooly Cooley?
Here's what happened with Interspecies reviewers. It came out, it was streaming for like 1 hour, and then they had to remove the whole show from like the entire internet.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it was basically just porn.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was it called?
It's called Interspecies Reviewers. It's about these guys who live in like a world with monster girls, and they go to brothels and they like review them. I need mental health. I haven't watched any of these. I'm gonna say that right now. But if I was going to watch anime, that's what I would want to watch. This ain't weird anime, y'all are just horny. Mac has a good point.
See, when I think of weird anime, I think of stuff like Fooly Cooley.
Okay, see, that's not, I guess that's weird in like a traditional
like
sense.
Surreal way. Yeah, it's just like,
yeah, it's
or
more
like
surreal.
Junji Ito weird.
Yeah.
Like surreal stuff.
I guess I don't know. When I associate anime with the horny stuff. And no, you can find it, Hex, but it was removed from the official streaming sites. You gotta hunt it down elsewhere now.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, nothing's lost. I'm trying to think like because so a lot of times like I don't get to watching shows until they're like completed.
They're already out. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and like they're done, like they've run it, and it's because I tend to like the stuff that doesn't get as like the
Firefly.
you know, yeah, like I didn't see Firefly until it was totally done.
Well,
and,
it was
like,
only one season.
Yeah,
because it got
exactly.
canceled.
And then like God, what's another one that I didn't like the Dark Crystal show? that
Oh,
Netflix
Age of
funded?
Resistance.
I was
They
like,
did one
so
season and then
excited.
left everybody on a
Yeah,
big cliffhanger.
And it won
'Cause
a
it's
ton
Netflix.
of awards.
Listen,
Like,
Netflix
and-
is Netflix is special.
Yeah, like I saw because they were talking about how I read an article that was talking about how like Dark Crystal won a ton of awards and Glow won a ton of awards and like other shows that did really well critic wise and were starting to get viewership, and Netflix was like, no, not enough, we got to get rid of it.
That doesn't
it's
bring
like,
in the money. We're
well-
doing another season of the cake show or whatever. I don't know what they fund
Another
anymore.
baking show.
People like watching baking shows, so we're gonna make every show a baking show.
57 baking shows coming this season.
Oh, boy.
Exactly. And so like to some extent I kind of like I hold off on watching stuff because I'm okay going in knowing that I'm going to be left hanging.
Sure. You know what?
And it hurts less.
I watched a show like that once on Netflix. It was one season of a show called Good Vibes. I'm like, wow, this show's like kind of fun. It's funny and I like the art style. And oh, it's only one season and it ends on a cliffhanger. It wasn't produced by Netflix. I think it was like an MTV type joint or like Teletoon or something.
Yeah.
But I watched it. I'm like, this is great. Let's see what's next. And then it was just done. So sad. I would
My friends
like
used to joke me about how-
Metamorphosis. Hang on, let me
What
look.
is Metamorphosis?
Meta.
Is that an anime or like a movie?
No, it's a
like
novella
live-
by Franz Kafka. It's where he turns into a bug.
I've heard of it. I've heard the name of it. Isn't it like out of print now?
No,
No?
no,
What
you
am I
can just
thinking
get it.
of?
Okay, I think he's talking about an anime though. So Metamorphosis,
Oh, a manga.
anime,
Okay.
manga, is a hentai manga. All right, I'm interested. I'm glad I didn't open this on the live screen. Jeez, we're getting some pictures here that I can't show. Is a hentai manga written by American-Japanese mangaka Shindo L. Published between 2013 and 2016, it gained a following online for its grim and depressing storyline. Okay, well, if it's grim and depressing, I won't be interested. Oh, geez. Yeah, okay. I'm reading the plot. Yeah, we're gonna stay away from that one.
Depressing.
No, it's a doujin of the worst possible things imaginable. That's what it looked like. Billip loves Big O. Oh, well, there you go. You're in good company. Pangolin was just trying to sell me on it. Unfortunately, she doesn't know that I don't like mecha anime.
Like, okay, so like I will not necessarily watch
It's like Batman, the
anything
animated series with mecha. Wait, have you seen Death Note?
I have not yet. It's on the list.
You should probably. I mean, it's not super long. Me and Emmykins watched that. It was pretty good. I don't like anything good.
I know. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean that it doesn't have value to other people.
We're going down a hentai road now. Not even Gurren Lagann. I don't watch any TV or like shows. And if I did, anime would be kind of low down on my list of shows to get to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like certain types. Like the anime that I do like is things like Trigun and Cowboy Bebop
And Full Metal
The
Alchemist.
Big O and Full Metal Alchemist.
See?
Like those are
The
solid
basic
shows.
stuff. The shonen anime.
Yeah, or like I have not started watching Inuyasha.
Yeah.
My
Naruto,
mom has watched
One Piece,
all
Bleach.
of Inuyasha. Like my mom likes Bleach, and
Your mom? How old's
she's
your
told me
mom that she'll watch Bleach?
My mom.
Your mom's probably
loves
older than my mom. That's crazy.
Anime. My mom was born in 1948.
Jeez.
Yeah, she
She
can
could have a
hold
YouTube
her
channel.
own.
The old
She
anime
can
lady.
hold her own.
Get her on
with, like,
YouTube.
It was funny because one time she was visiting us in Alaska, and we had some of Pup's friends that he had met like through work, because he was older than, because you know how like a lot of the people when they go into the military they're like 18, 19.
Yep.
We were like in our upper 20s when Pup joined the army.
Okay.
And so like my mom wasn't visiting, and like we had some of our friends over, and they're like, 20, 21 and huge into anime, and we're like, we don't know anything anime, but my mother would love to talk to you about anime. And like they sat there, and because like we need to go to the store for something, I think, and like so we left and we came back, and they were like deeply in the conversation about some anime, and our friends were like super impressed because they were like, oh my god, like your mom recommended shows like I've never even seen, and she's read the manga.
All right.
Like my mom is huge manga fan and anime fan, and like it's just wild.
Mac has recommended Hajime no Ippo. I looked it up, not enough anime boobs, so that's probably going to be a no for me.
Not enough what?
Not enough anime boobs. It's just a bunch of guys. It's a bunch of buff guys that are boxing.
Have you seen what do you think of My Hero Academia?
I won't watch that. I know where I can get boobs, Skid and Bop. Don't worry. I'm just saying, if I'm gonna watch an anime, it's not gonna be one with a bunch of like buff dudes. That's all I'm saying. Keep your high Qs and your Kuroko no baskets away from me.
Have you seen the anime that's like race horses,
Wait, what?
but they're girls?
No, and I don't want to.
Okay, so here's what's really funny about it. They're like the horses that are the basis for the characters are real horses that are owned
Like Secretariat?
No, like they're Japanese horses that are owned by like
horse
businessmen
racing
and stuff,
anime.
and like they have people who are actively like constantly searching the internet to take down any inappropriate stuff that people post about those characters.
Well, now you're just ruining both anime and the internet. It's on Verve. He wants me Skin and Bop suggests High School DxD, which I am aware of. I know all the animes, don't worry.
Oh, you know,
I am not ignorant of anime. I know that it exists, and I know most of the ones that are out there. Oh, it's like a weird 3D, gross. I'm looking at the Horse Girls thing. It's called Uma Musume Pretty Derby. What's the one that just came out?
What do you mean weird 3D? Is it weird?
Yeah, it's got like a hold on.
Anime.
I'll bring it up here. Well, all anime is starting to become that 3D gross look to it. Like this. Look like 3D models. Look at it. Oh, this is from a game. This is from an in a game.
Yeah, that's the game though. Like that's from the game.
This is
Look at the show.
This is weird, but in like a anime is weird generally kind of way.
Yeah. Like I haven't watched it yet. I added it to my list just because I was like, this is a weird thing, and I need to check out this weird thing.
Max says that his cousin has the same taste as me. Pornography? All right, fair enough. Skid and Bop says Classroom of the Elite. It's fire. Classroom of the Elite, huh? Check that out. Is this the one where they go, there's an isekai? If this is another isekai anime, it's a light novel. All right, we're already off to a bad start here.
I'm trying to think, like, what was the name?
Plot.
When I was younger and I was watching anime, like when I was in high school, I was watching the anime that was available. That was like
anime.
It was like we were watching stuff like Tenchi Muyo.
Ooh, Tenchi.
And like Sailor Moon. Like, oh my god, I love Sailor Moon. I could tell you the names of all the characters. I could
I mean, it's Sailor Moon. There's only like 6 of them.
No, there's not. Dude, I could tell you who all the side characters
All right,
were. Like,
hang on. All right, I want you to name every Sailor Scout, and then I want you to give me the Scout names, and then I want you to give me their real names.
I don't remember it anymore.
Well, then why did you say you could name them all?
No, I said I used to be able to name them.
All right, and Skin and Bop, isekai is a genre of anime where people go to another world. Like half of all animes released.
Yeah. Have you seen the
Basically Beavis and Butthead.
The Netflix anime that they just did, like Glitter
Which one?
Force, I think it's called.
Glitter Force?
Have you seen?
You're making some of these up.
I'm not. I swear.
Glitter Force, Smile Precure. Is Glitter Force okay, hang on. I typed in Glitter Force into Google and it asked the question, is Glitter Force appropriate? I'm guessing yes it is, because this looks like a very
Netflix one? Because
it says Netflix.
Show.
Yeah, it's another magical girl anime.
So here's the thing about that one. I gave it the 3-episode try, right? Because I give episodes 3 them. I give shows 3
you
episodes.
You do the 3-episode rule. I do the 0-episode rule. But go on.
Like, I do a 3-episode rule, and it's because a lot of shows in the first like 2-3 episodes, like, they're trying to like bring you up to speed on things you need to understand the plot, and they're like introducing characters, and they're like, you know, the actors are just settling into their roles and everything. But like, I ended up really hooked on it because they have a lot of like meta jokes in it. Like, at one point the girls do the transformation thing, and like they do a little bit of a transformation scene for like each of the girls, right? And so like they've got like 3 girls, and the villain they're fighting at that moment is like, oh my god, that was the longest transformation sequence I have ever had to sit through.
Oh, breaks the fourth wall.
Yes, and it's super, like, it's very quick and witty in ways that you wouldn't expect for this show. And it's over the top silly, and they know it's over the top silly, and like, I'm sort of kind of offended because they pull out like little makeup compacts and little powder puff things, and they like will like pat themselves, and like all of a sudden like their costumes on, and they're like puff puff magic outfit, puff puff magic boots. And I was like, this is so fucking dumb.
And yet you watched it.
Like,
oh wait, you stopped watching it.
Like, the little like 12-year-old girl in me is like, this is the greatest show ever.
Skin and Bop recommends Madoka Magica, which I think my friends have also recommended.
Madoka Magica?
Well, one of my friends is like, okay, they're both weird because they watch anime, first of all. One of them likes, like, I don't know, lolly stuff. And the other one's into more, I don't know what he's into. I think he mostly reads manga. He doesn't really watch anime as much. Purge, Max says. Listen, he watches what he likes. I'm not gonna get on his case about it.
Is Purge a show? Are you saying to Purge?
He's a manga chat. Yeah, one of my friends is a manga chat. I always ask him about anime. He's like, I don't watch anime. I read manga. So that's my stance on anime. I don't know why exactly. I can't pinpoint a reason that I won't watch it. Hang on, we gotta get some music going here. The music ran out. Also, hang on. If you guys are curious about the music that I'm listening to, let me post it in the chat. So this is, Pup might like this. This is from an artist called Walking Dog, who makes some wonderful DMCA-free music.
Ooh.
And also, he is a dog. So, there you go.
I'll have to listen to this later. That's fine. It's like, I can't hear the music.
No, you can't hear the music. It's very sad.
I just like, you know, brought out the link, took a screenshot, so I remember to look it up later, and then...
He is a furry, yes. There are furries in the chat. There are furries in the audience. There are maybe even furries on stream right now. We don't know.
And furries in the music business.
There are furries everywhere. Sometimes you won't even know.
Like, a lot of them are like IT specialists.
Yeah, wasn't
And like,
there's the picture of the
like, right.
plane full of furries, and then it's like if that plane crashes, the entire country loses every IT specialist. Let me find it. Find the
God,
picture.
I love that.
Yeah, here it is. Here's the picture. It's sadly it's on iFunny, so we're gonna have to take a brief trip over to iFunny.
Oh no.
So many furries in one flight. Tag them if you know them. I object to that many furries being on the same airplane because if there were an accident, it would basically cripple the American IT industry in an instant. They're coming back from rainforest, chat. Mac Truck loves that one. Yeah, that's a...
I think my other favorite furry piece is it's a drawing of like one of those doors that has like a window in the top part, right?
Yeah.
Like a classroom window. And there's like one like cartoony furry like pressed up against the window trying to look in, and then there's another one who's like leaned down under it trying not to be seen, who's like nudging the deadbolt into place. And it's like furries, also furries. Like,
is that an iFunny watermark? Is it? I don't see a watermark. I just see the
either.
We're on the webpage here.
No watermarks.
Look, it was the first Google search. I'm not gonna like dig for the original. It was on Tumblr or something. No, wait, this is Twitter. Hang on.
Yeah,
this is Twitter. I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter, and so I don't know. I don't recognize it, but here it is. Yeah, it's got the heart and everything. All right. Well, Pangolin.
What's funny is actually, hey pup, don't you recognize some of these furries? Like the fursuits?
But they're kind of, some of them are pretty generic.
Like, yeah, what'd you say? Yeah, he recognizes like 3 or 4 of them from furry cons and other things.
Oh God. All right. Well, do you have anything else you'd like to talk about this evening before we wrap it up? We have explored all the national parks that I had access to. She's thinking, chat.
He does know who a couple of the furries in that picture are. Oh man.
Death and world domination.
We can wrap up.
Oh, we don't need to wrap up. I'm out of stuff to talk about. So if you don't have anything, that was all the. Did I know?
Totally. Oh, did you know that President Coolidge's family had a pet raccoon named Rebecca?
That's a good name for a raccoon.
I know. I learned about this like this past month, and I was like, this is the sort of thing that I needed to have thrown into history class to make me pay attention, like, and really remember stuff. This is the sort of like anecdotal stuff that I remember.
That doesn't really help you, like,
I know,
knowing.
but it makes me feel.
I guess they could sprinkle it in, like, oh, today we're going to learn about President Coolidge and his presidency. Did you know? Blah 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 blah. Can you say anything else about Calvin Coolidge and his presidency?
No, exactly. That's just it. Like,
all you know is about the raccoon.
Interesting. I was just like, oh, it's a dead president. They didn't do anything interesting, really. And we never really talked about President Coolidge. But now that I know that they had a pet raccoon named Rebecca, I'm absolutely gonna look more into that.
Taft is a Chad. Taft is not a Chad. Come on. Let me find a picture of him, actually.
This dude is in Taft's favor, like, Taft had a good sense of humor.
Yeah, how do you know?
He knew that he was overweight, and like he made fun of himself for it.
Here he is. Do we get like a full body shot? No. Just a picture of him. I don't care. The White House isn't gonna tell me anything. I want a picture of him.
Here's the thing, like the White House website. The White House website. They're trying to show you like the professional stuff.
They're just giving the president's side. We want this side of him.
Exactly.
You know what? In today's society, he would be considered normal.
Exactly.
Getting stuck in the bathtub. Only Chads do that. Then consider me a Chad.
Did it happen like twice? It happened at least twice.
Wait, is he? Oh, there he is. He's the big guy in the middle. Here we have a political cartoon. A very long-standing tradition in America and probably elsewhere. Here he is with his next meal. I mean, his son. Probably. I like his mustache, at least. He's got that going for him. It's his son, Charles Taft. So wait, so that's what you wanted to talk about? You wanted to talk about the presidential raccoon?
Yes.
All right.
Her name was Rebecca. She looks very sweet. So she was sent to the White House to be Thanksgiving dinner for the Coolidge family, and they decided
Wait, a
to adopt her
raccoon
instead.
for Thanksgiving dinner?
Yes.
People don't eat
They give it-
raccoons.
It was the Depression, my dude.
No. I'm not. No, you don't eat raccoons though.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, they did.
Can you eat
People-
raccoon?
Yes, you can. You can eat raccoon.
How to cook raccoon, a forgotten delicacy. All right,
See?
we're going down a rabbit
Raccoon
hole.
and squirrel and a possum.
All right.
I mean, so the only thing you need to consider, really, is that when you
Oh,
eat
God.
things that are omnivores, when you eat things that are omnivores, you have to worry about parasites.
You ever
so, like-
wonder how to cook raccoon? Our editors show you how to prepare this once a common menu item. That's just what I imagine the person writing this sounds like. As a young boy, I would sit in motionless suspense as my grandpa Varney replayed the memories of his youth through storytelling. West Virginia, of course. He could make you feel the emotion of the moment too, like the anxiousness of sitting still in bed while a rat snake slithered through the drafty rafters of his old house. Or the disgust of finding an opossum crawling around inside a dead horse. I can still hear him snicker. I never ate another opossum after that. Oh boy, there's a video, chat. We're not gonna watch the video of them trimming a raccoon. The house smelled delicious while the
You
raccoon
know?
baked. Oh God. We's eating good tonight.
I want you to know that in the state of Tennessee, there is actually a law on the books that it is legal to pick up roadkill and eat it.
Of course there is. It's free
And the
food.
reason that that is a law on the books is because there was a problem for a while with like people would stop to. So there's during particular time of the year, like late fall for deer, you have a lot of deer get hit.
Sure.
And so, like, you hit the deer and you throw it in the back of your truck because that is free dinner and you might as well, have something to eat while you spend the money you have on getting your truck fixed. And so, like, cops were giving people shit about it. And so, like, they passed a law that it was legal to pick up roadkill.
Oh boy. I'm gonna veto the raccoon eating. I think maybe we'll have some tofu instead.
Like, I would not eat
Whoa.
raccoons simply because
They want me to get a. Are you leaving
Free
before you sign up
subscription.
for Bow Hunting World, Predator Extreme, or Whitetail Journal? No.
Whitetail Journal just sounds
Can I
dirty
leave
somehow.
now? Please get me out of here. Take me back to the mystery flesh pit. It's less weird.
Mesoglial tridecapod.
Yeah, we didn't actually talk about this one. This is the mesoglial tridecapod, which drinks the blood of the mystery flesh pit. Has 13 legs, which doesn't seem right.
That really does look like a John Carpenter creature, doesn't it?
Where's the 13th leg? Oh, they have 12 legs, and then they have one extra one. 13th modified leg plated in durable keratinous segments used as a head. Oh, this is the 13th, I guess.
That's not.
It has 12 legs plus one more that's the head. I don't know.
Wouldn't that be like the body?
No, because the body is like here. Very strange.
Okay. Nomadic lifestyle.
All right, so let's plan our next move here. Emmykins wants us to play some Spelunky. Not right now necessarily, because it's like getting late. We don't really have time. But we could do some multiplayer Spelunky. That might be fun. I don't know if we want to stream it actually.
I mean, so explain. So with multiplayer, do all of you have to get to the exit or just one?
Just one.
Oh, okay.
And if you die,
well,
you turn into a ghost that can just fly around the level, and you can get respawned at any other coffin. If you find a coffin, it'll pop you out.
I mean, if you don't mind seeing me die constantly.
The hardest
What
part
you
is the
see
lag can be a real killer.
I don't like. I have not tried to do multiplayer with anybody that wasn't in the same room as me.
Okay.
Like I've done local co-op, and like when Mac and I were playing Death Trash, he was actually here with me playing it.
Okay.
So like I don't know how bad my lag would be, or if there would be lag. I would probably want to wait on that until I get a cord that will actually hook me directly to the Wi-Fi router that I have.
Oh yeah, do
Because
that.
right now, like my laptop is just like.
Are you on
wirelessly
Wi-Fi?
connecting.
Oh god.
Yes.
That's horrible. How do you stream like that?
Because it's what I have.
Just get an Ethernet cable. They're like $10 at Walmart.
I know.
All right. Well, it's no rush.
Walmart's 30 minutes away.
Oh right, you gotta walk like 4 hours.
I could like order it online, but like.
That's true. Very careful.
What, pup?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it would need to be like a 10 or 20-foot one. Because
All right.
Or I'd have to like. I'd have to completely like reorganize my stuff, but like. It's one of those things that like. It's on the list of things to buy, but then like the car needed repairing.
Yeah, everything
And then like we got the
happens
car
all
back.
at once.
Yeah, and like we got the car back. The car that we finally got back after the engine got replaced, like within the first like 2 weeks that we had it back, then it started being like, you know what, your battery charging system needs to be looked at. You should look at that. And then it's like, we're switching to battery saver mode and the AC cut off.
Oh no.
And I was like, no. Like, what did you guys do to my car? Like, it was running and I was so happy, and now it's not. So, yeah, so we have to fix that now, too.
All right. Well, let me check with Emmykins here. Emmykins, can you check if possibly an alien is going for a while longer yet? If we want to raid her. So, thanks everybody for coming out. Hang on, let me...
Yes, thank you.
Me switch stream to the stream ending. Thanks for thanks for humoring me and looking at some national parks, and also thanks chat for not spoiling it for Pangolin before she figured it out herself.
For not spoiling.
And we let her think that there was this like magical, amazing place that existed in West Texas for quite a while. She was all on board. Mac, we'll get in contact. We'll have you on the stream someday if you want. I do, so every Tuesday, basically, I do these streams, and I typically would like to have a guest because some of these are a little bit sparse on content. And so it's nice to have somebody to kind of riff with. So if you are interested, if you or someone you know are interested in being a guest on the stream, let me know. And Heck says, quote of the day, Fire Axis' Jake Solomon says, even he gets frustrated when he misses a shot in XCOM. I mean, it's natural to get frustrated. I think people make too big a deal out of it. But yeah. Emmykins, she's checking right now. But so yeah, check out the link for Walking Dog if you enjoy the music here. And there's, okay, I actually know where I'm not capturing anymore. Okay, well, we'll raid her anyway. It looks like she's still going. She's playing Detroit Become Human, which is a hilarious quote-unquote game. Are you familiar with Detroit Become Human? Okay.
I've actually watched people. One of our roommates one time played it.
It's more like a visual novel. All right, here we go. Yeah, it's a movie game. Max got the right idea. All right, here we go, everybody. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow for more XCOM. Here we go.
Bye.